Maker. It's like a coffee maker for cocktails. It freshly mixes your favorite spirits with a cocktail capsule to create the perfect drink every time.
What's in the capsule?
All the premium juices, bitters, extracts, and mixers for the drink of your choice.
Wow. I'll have a margarita, please.
Coming right up. Your margarita.
This drink is perfection.
Get premium cocktails at the push of a button with the Bartesian Cocktail Maker. And with over 50 drinks to choose from, like Cosmos, Old Fashions, Martinis, and much more, everyone gets their favorite drink. And right now, buy a Bartesian and get your first 6 cocktails free when you go to Bartesian.com/drinks. Go to BARTESIAN.com/drinks for your free cocktails. That's Bartesian.com/drinks.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Here's to days spent roaming, and to sleeping beneath the stars, to casting another line and letting time float by. From Shadron State Park to Indian Cave State Park and every recreation area, historical and state park in between. Here's to your adventures, your memories. Here's to going out and enjoying your Nebraska state parks. Plan your next trip today at yournebraskaparks.org. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, everybody, it's Gary Sharp. Join me for We Got a Podcast, driven by Woodhouse Auto Family. We get more in depth, have a guest or two, and drop nuggets of info you haven't heard anywhere else. Join us for We Got a Podcast, driven by Woodhouse Auto Family, every Friday in the show page on 1620thezone.com or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
A crossover is
crossover dribble.
Sing for the crossover.
Kyrie Irving, crossover in the lane. One of the most famous crossovers of all time.
Behind the back, an ankle breaker on Chris Paul.
Crossover.
Double crossover.
The crossover continues to evolve.
All right, it's time for the crossover. Robbie's still here. Gary is left because he has to go do something.
He has important things to do.
That's very important.
I do not.
Extreme. It's good to know. All right, so we getting into Josh's theory about how the MLB playoffs are rigged, or are we going to talk about the Denver Nuggets and how the NBA gifted them with a 9-1 start?
Why don't we talk basketball while the basketball guy's here?
They did gift them. Hey, listen, Ravi knows baseball too.
Ravi knows baseball.
No, I do prefer basketball. Yeah, that's a pretty soft schedule to get into things.
Utah, so they get Utah tomorrow.
If I can just set this for the audience, the National Basketball Association begins play tonight.
Also, I have a gripe with the NBA.
Okay, let's hear it.
Why do they not have a day where everybody plays? I mean, I guess they have that tomorrow.
They do. It's tomorrow.
But, and I guess Major League Baseball does the same thing. So my gripe is not my gripe is not founded here. But
it's not isolated to basketball.
But like, have a day, just market it as this is the day when the NBA starts. Like, we don't have that in basketball. Baseball
is
like a holiday when the NBA's or when baseball starts. It's opening day, right? Everybody has lofty dreams and goals for their team. In basketball, not everybody starts on the same day. Nobody actually cares when the season starts because 75% of the league is tanking and nobody cares.
Not 75% of the league, probably only half.
I will not think, and I like the Nuggets a lot. But I don't think I'm going to really even consider the NBA until at least Christmas.
That's when most people pay attention. Yeah, is Christmas, you know,
and then probably I'll pay attention on Christmas, and then
You'll tune out until the NFL playoffs are over.
about March.
The nice thing about
right after the college basketball tournament.
So I really like having games to watch all the time, and so it's nice that there's basically games on every night. That's the bonus of the NBA. If you're a sports fan this time of year, where baseball's gone pretty soon, so you're not going to have baseball games every night. Football obviously only plays on their assigned days. So basketball is kind of your filler. It's kind of your, hey, I like sports. I just want sports on.
That's right.
And
Too many 6 o'clock starts. Hot take.
For basketball?
Yeah.
See, I like a 6 o'clock start because then it gets the night game bumped up a little bit. You can't do a 7 o'clock start because then your West Coast games start at like 10:30 here.
Yeah, would you rather have that, Josh?
No.
I would.
In the playoffs, it's just such a grind when your team is playing at 11 o'clock every night.
Yeah, as somebody,
and then you got to stay up and watch Charles Barkley and whatever the heck he's going to say.
As somebody who doesn't sleep, yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that.
We're talking about routinely after midnight before you,
minimum,
if you care about the NBA playoffs at all.
Yeah, it's pretty routinely after midnight, so that's not ideal. I prefer the early starts. A 7 o'clock is the sweet spot, right? But if you've got a double header, that's not really practical. But no, I understand a lot of people don't tune in until Christmas. And then more people tune in after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because not everybody's a college basketball fan.
I will, and college basketball doesn't have a quote unquote opening day either because there's too many teams.
Almost no sport does anymore. That's kind of my point though. Like even your baseball opening day, like you said, there's a couple games that get played beforehand, the night before.
But I will care about college basketball before I care about the NBA just on the calendar. That's mostly because I'm just a bigger college basketball fan than I am an NBA fan. But
I like that I get basketball sooner with the NBA.
Yeah.
Though. So I've got like 2 weeks here where I get to watch NBA before college basketball starts, which is nice, or 3 weeks almost.
But nobody has, everybody's tanking.
Not everybody's tanking. It's only about half.
Everybody's half the league is tanking.
Well, okay, to start.
Glad I ponied up for League Pass.
You don't have to if you've got the zone deal, the FanDuel Sportsbook promo code Happer. Is that yours?
Well, just it's whatever you want, but promo code Happer.
Okay, and you get 3 months of League Pass.
That's right.
There you go.
Well, if you do it
that way, you don't have to pony up for League Pass.
You may or may not be blacked out from the Nuggets and the Timberwolves and the Thunder. But
that's right.
Okay.
You don't want to watch them anyway.
People want to watch the Nuggets.
I'd like to watch the T-Wolves.
Well, okay. What if I told you that Nikola Jokic was going to win a third straight MVP?
He's not.
Why not?
Because
not?
Because they don't give anybody 3 straight MVPs.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think they'd give him 2 straight, but there he was.
2 straight's pretty common.
It's time for 3 straight.
Giannis won 2 in a row. Steph won 2 in a row.
Nikola
Jokic won 2 in a row.
Can cement himself as a generational player.
He's not going to win 3 straight.
Who do you think's going to win MVP, Ravi?
Giannis, I think, is going to win another one. I think getting bounced last year, he's going to have a fire under his ass.
Okay.
I think this is going to be a big Giannis year.
Big Giannis. Okay, let's look at
Plus, he's the right age. I think Luka is your top odds guy, which I could see happening.
Sure.
It's about time for Luka to get his
the jump. The leap.
I mean, he made the leap already, but if Dallas can go and I think Dallas needs to get a top 4 seed for him to get it.
Luka plus 500, Embiid plus 600.
I don't think Embiid's getting it.
Giannis plus 700, Jokic plus 1,000.
Plus 1,000.
Kevin Durant plus 1,000. Ja Morant plus 1,300. Curry plus 1,500. Tatum plus 1,300. Zion plus 2,500. Is Zion back?
I hope so. I love Zion so much.
That's the top that he is.
Would you take a flyer on old ass LeBron James at plus 3,200?
No, he's not going to play enough games.
What if he gets?
He's not going to play enough games.
Well, neither is Anthony Davis either. I don't know.
No, 100%. He's not playing enough games. But LeBron's probably only
made of glass.
LeBron's probably going to play about 60 games, I would guess.
Well, that might be enough for MVP nowadays.
I don't think so because you're going to have a big year. Giannis is going to have a huge year. I think
Kawhi Leonard. Remember him?
He used to be a thing.
He is plus 2,700 for MVP right now.
There was like a year where he might have been the best player in the league.
That was that one time, yes.
And that doesn't exist anymore.
Well, and then he got out of Toronto, took an exhale, and he was gone.
He has been gone for a season and a half now.
That's the thing with the Clippers. Everybody's like, "Oh, the Clippers are going to be back." I was like,
"No, they're not."
You really think Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are staying healthy for like the 100 games it's going to take to win a title?
Donovan Mitchell plus 6,500.
Immediately, no.
Yeah, I mean, you could pretty much cap it after about the first 6 or 7,
Yeah.
but
Zion's the last one that sounded realistic.
Was Tatum not on there?
Tatum was on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Tatum was before
missed it.
Zion, I think,
Okay.
or right around Zion.
So here's what's happening on Monday, November 7th in opening day of college basketball locally. We have Creighton versus St. Thomas.
Let's go. They used to be a D3 team not that long ago.
Top 10 Creighton.
Number 9. Show some respect.
Nebraska versus Maine.
Maine, the Bears?
They brought in Maine.
They're the Bears.
The women played Maine, I think, last year. And Omaha in Lawrence, Kansas for their little presentation ceremony banner hanging. So that'll be a fun night for one Gary Sharp.
Yeah, that will be a fun. Listen, anytime you get to go to one of the iconic venues, that's a good night.
That is local basketball on November the 7th, which is quote unquote opening day.
Wait, Omaha's playing Kansas on banner night?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
fun atmosphere for Gary.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
That'll go well.
He'll get some stories.
No, it'll be interesting though, because I really don't know. There's a lot of variables with Omaha this year. You got the new coach, you got a bunch of new players.
Oh, I have no idea what's gonna happen.
That's what I mean. Like it's a total wild card. So
they could pop up and get somebody early.
Oh well, guess who they play early?
A lot of people.
Everybody.
They play everybody early.
Yeah, but most notably, the team down the road. Can they get Nebraska?
Oh, I would love that.
On November the 10th.
I would love that.
3 days after watching the banner go up at Allen Fieldhouse, they visit vaunted Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Is their banners going up at Pinnacle that night too?
I believe so, yes.
Beer available here.
They should hang a banner for
the
that.
Bud Light sign just
They should consider that. Let's see what just quickly here, since this
Omaha pretty frequently has a brutal non-con.
I mean, they got to pay for some stuff.
Yeah.
So Kansas at Nebraska to start. They have an exhibition against Mid-America Christian to start, by the way.
Is that in Oklahoma? Is that where they're from?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. Because I think I played Mid-America Christian in college.
You would know better than I then. Let's just go with that. Kansas, Nebraska. Back to Baxter for a couple against Idaho and Ball State.
Okay, those are kind of in the neighborhood.
Back out on the road. Iowa. They're in a little event called the Emerald Coast Classic, where Louisiana Monroe, Southern, and Loyola, Maryland will be. That is in Florida.
Where is the Emerald Coast is in Florida? That was my next question. I was like, where is the Emerald Coast?
It is in a place called Niceville, Florida, which I'm sure it's very nice.
Sounds nice.
And then, so you're on the road there, starting with Iowa on Monday, November 21st. Do the Emerald Coast thing. Mississippi State, North Texas, Drake, Montana, Montana State. Sorry, all on the road. That is a long 2 to 3.
Omaha
weeks
loves
stretch.
going out to Montana every
year.
year.
And they go on the road for a long time, like long stretches.
Well, that's going to be one of these.
At least they get the get right game with Midland after that.
Actually, this one's not as bad.
No, there's been a couple years in the past where it's just been
They've
brutal.
been just bouncing all around the country.
Well, they've been bouncing all around the country, and they just play like, hey, Power 5, Power 5, Power 5, Power 5.
They also have a random like Christmas week game in Ames.
Oh, nice.
Against Iowa State.
They got Iowa, Iowa State, and Drake on the schedule.
Iowa State, Drake, Nebraska.
No Northern Iowa. Sad.
No Northern Iowa.
Sad.
Kansas. So they're getting all the Midwestern, and then of course Midland.
Yeah, the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Right here in Fremont.
Don't they have like 45 players on their roster or something like that?
Yeah, I think they've got a JV squad and like a developmental team and a freshman team and a practice squad, and yeah, they've got like 50 guys, and they have like 75 varsity sports.
Mm-hmm.
It's
a lot of athletes over there.
Yeah, they've gone all in on athletics at Midland.
There's your preview of the Omaha men's basketball schedule.
Didn't know we were going to do that today.
Brian writes in on the Equitable Bank inbox, says, poll question, are you a fan of the NBA? I would guess less than 30% are. Of our audience?
Yeah, that's probably right.
I think that's probably in the right zone there.
Anytime I ask an NBA question, there's always a couple commenters. Where's the who cares button?
That was not the case.
Is there a who cares button? We should have that, actually.
That was not the case when we asked if Robert Horry skips leg day. That was a very popular poll question.
Yeah, people enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And yes, he does.
He does, like 93% skips leg day. That's a basketball question. NBA, baby, it's back.
Oh, yeah, there will be some like weird drama things that happen, because that's what the NBA is, right? It's not really about the games. It's just about
It's a soap opera.
It's about what LeBron is thinking and when he's going to retire and who he's going to play for when he plays with his kid.
Trade demand.
When's it going to break that scoring record?
Probably February.
Yeah, it's later, right?
It's going to be later in the season.
He's got some wood left to chop, some meat on that bone.
Ooh.
Doing all sorts of analogies there.
Something that people say.
Connor, big metaphor guy.
So the NBA season does start tonight.
And I'm excited.
The Lakers will be on your television more times than you want them.
Yeah, it's going to be a bummer because they're going to be pretty bad. They're not going to make the playoffs. Russell Westbrook might be banished from the team.
Awesome.
Which I'm excited about.
They've already banished him to the bench.
There's a lot of Pat Bev, like, who is Pat Bev in the big three?
No, not everybody has a big three.
That's correct.
AD is never there.
Who is even on their roster?
No, it's great because if you ask Pat Bev about the big three, he goes, "No, you mean the big four."
What is this?
Because I am a part of it.
You click on the Lakers page on ESPN, and the first story that pops up is like a video from Tim Legler, and the question is why the Lakers season hinges on LeBron and AD.
No duh.
It's like,
yeah, they got to stay healthy.
Tim, yeah, that's true.
Thanks for paying you. Thanks for giving us that as a paid basketball analyst.
It hinges on their two best players.
You mean the two best players are going to determine the outcome of a basketball team? That doesn't sound right.
Okay, so LeBron.
Look, that's a former Omaha racer you guys are talking about.
3 through 15, they might be the worst roster in the league.
Yeah. These guys are.
You got Austin Reeves. He's on the roster.
You do have Austin Reeves. Pat Bev.
You got Westbrook.
Thomas Bryant.
Oh, yeah, he's bad. He's from Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might be the worst starting center in the league.
Okay, Kendrick Nunn.
He might be okay.
He's probably a starter on that team.
Oh, he's definitely a starter on that team.
Scottie Pippen Jr.
Vanderbilt great.
Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder is hurt for the first month at least. He just had surgery yesterday.
Lonnie Walker.
Lonnie Walker is a flame out from Miami, I believe.
That's right.
Played for the Spurs briefly.
Flame out.
Well, I mean, he was a first-round pick, and he's on at least his second team now, so not great.
Juan Toscano Anderson.
I actually like him. He played for the Warriors, who won the championship last year. I don't know if you know that.
People forget.
I do forget.
JTA, Oakland native.
And then a whole bunch of people that I have never ever heard of.
Yeah, that's the roster. It's quite bad. It's a bad roster.
Yep, that's a bad team.
And
they're going to be on ESPN every night.
Way too much.
Or TNT.
Yeah.
With Charles Barkley and his
We should boot them.
$10 million a year.
Boot them out of the TV rating.
Okay, so you're a Warriors guy, Josh. You're a Celtics guy, right?
That's right. Who's their coach? I don't know.
No, nobody knows.
Joe Mazzulla.
I don't know who that is.
Where's he from?
He played at West Virginia.
He didn't play in Missouri.
So did the logo.
Montana.
He is not the logo.
Okay.
I do like their jerseys that they keep.
No, the jerseys tonight are incredible.
I hate the Celtics alternate jerseys, all of them, and that one is beautiful.
This should be their main jersey.
Yeah.
This should just be the jersey.
Agreed.
Will Jason Tatum be able to come back from his from the abuse that he took in the NBA Finals by everybody because he was scared and didn't want to?
He is often a sad boy. Yes, This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As you know, we went through. I did this Lula Stars thing on the on unsportsmanlike conduct.
Lula Stars.
Yeah. So a Lula Star is somebody who can be the best player on a championship team.
That's a great bit.
Oh,
Jason Tatum, not a Lula Star.
Not there yet.
He's a number 2.
Yeah.
What if you have two number 2s in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum?
Nope.
Not a championship team.
It's not that you can't win a championship, but you're not a Lula Star. You can't be the guy that you're the reason that you're
Lula Stars.
Like this is the hottest take. Kevin Durant, not a Lula Star.
Not anymore, probably, right?
Never was.
Never was.
He's never been the best player on a championship team.
Well, he hasn't been.
That's true.
What about could he be? Or
That's the question.
Could he have been?
But you look at he was in his
feel like
prime.
we would know by now.
Yeah, he was in his prime in Oklahoma City.
I don't.
It was never his team in Golden State.
No, okay, I understand what has happened,
and he.
But if you put him on another good team during that time period, during his prime,
here's part of the thing that you have to understand, though.
A Lula Star.
That didn't happen, though.
It did not happen.
It didn't happen.
It did not happen.
I can only go based on what's happened.
But wait, okay. So nobody like Nikola Jokic is not a Lula Star.
I think he is a Lula star because he could be the best player on a championship team.
I thought it was by what happened.
I have seen him be the best player. He's basically single-handedly drug Denver to 50 wins by himself.
Sure. Yes.
So he qualifies even though he has not won a championship yet.
Okay, but Kevin Durant can do that. Would have been able to.
Here's
do
the
that
problem,
too.
though, is we've had an entire career of Kevin Durant at this point. We're 15 years in, man.
I know, it's a long time.
And for it not to have happened, that's where it becomes an issue. When you're at the tail end of your career, because let's be honest, he's closer to the end than the middle.
Sure.
So you're saying empty stats Kevin Durant.
I'm not saying he's empty stats. I'm saying he's the world's best number 2. The world's best.
I don't know.
Hired gun.
I can't get along with that.
He's the world's best number 2. That's why I said it's my hottest take.
Like a couple of those Oklahoma City teams were good enough to win titles.
Yeah, but they didn't.
But they didn't.
And
he was the best player on those.
He
teams.
was, but they didn't. Like we saw it play out.
Correct.
It becomes a question with Denver has never put a good enough team around Nikola Jokic for us to look at it and say, he failed us here. He could get demoted still, but at this point, Jokic has Lula star potential.
But so he is a Lula star or is not a Lula star?
Not quite yet. But he's
you're saying only the best players who have won titles can be Lula stars. There's no projection in this at all. There's no projection. There's no projection and there's no what ifs.
There are some what ifs, but if you're at the end of your career, like Kevin Durant,
toward the end.
Yeah, your what if
he's 17 or whatever years in. He's only 33.
Your what ifs he's got a ton of miles and a ton of injuries though. Yeah. It's not getting better at this point as well.
That's for sure.
There's some projection, but it's like you don't get stamped. You say, hey, potential Lula star.
I would vote
possible Lula
if
star.
If I had a spot in the Lula Star committee, which I do not.
Yeah.
I would say that Kevin Durant is a Lula star.
Most people would. That's as I said, that is my hottest take is that Kevin Durant is not a Lula star.
So are there only 2 Lula stars, Steph Curry and Giannis?
LeBron was a Lula star.
Was a Lula star, but is not today.
Formerly known as a Lula star.
I don't think he currently could be the best player on a championship team.
Sure.
But he was a Lula star. So he counts.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of who else.
Michael Jordan was a Lula star.
Obviously. I was thinking of current players. Yes, Michael Jordan was a Lula star. Kareem was a Lula star. Obviously, Magic, Larry.
This is an exclusive club.
Oh, it's like under 20 guys in history.
Let me look at the list here.
I think it's under 20 guys in history. It's more exclusive than the MVP. It's more exclusive than guys that have won championships because you can win a championship and not be a Lula star. Like nobody on the Pistons in 04 was a Lula star, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to go down the list of active scoring leaders.
All right, let's hear it.
And then there's a couple guys who I want to pick your brain on that have since retired. Okay, so LeBron was.
Yep.
The second active leading scorer right now is actually a guy by the name of Carmelo Anthony.
Not a Lula star.
Definitely
obviously.
not a
Not
Lula
even
star.
close.
Right.
He's like the poster boy for not a Lula star.
Uh-huh.
Durant.
Not a Lula star.
James Harden.
Not a Lula star.
No.
He's one of the worst playoff performers for a good player of all time.
Russell Westbrook.
Obviously not a Lula star.
Chris Paul.
Not a Lula star. He can't even, he's not even close.
Okay, so then we get into a funny. Joe Johnson is still active.
I think he played like 4 games last year because of COVID.
Sweet. LaMarcus Aldridge, not a Lula star.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna acknowledge that.
Steph Curry,
obviously a Lula star.
Was Dwight Howard a Lula star?
Never. No. Not even close.
Was Dame a Lula star?
No.
Sad.
He had Lula star potential.
I just like him so much.
I do too. But his best team got obliterated by a injury-riddled Warriors team in the Western Conference Final.
He's never even had a team that we go, well, if everything breaks right.
No, they're not. He's really, really good player, Hall of Famer, not a Lula star.
Okay, let me ask you. So as you go down the list, it gets funnier and funnier.
Yep.
The leading scorer is active right now. Kawhi,
Lula star, briefly. Wow. He was by far the best. He was by far the best player on 2 championship teams.
A shooting Ravi Lula star.
Love it. Love it. He was like an eclipse. Yeah. Brilliant, but brief. Yeah, 15 and 18. Or 19. He was the best player on a championship team.
Also, like an eclipse, his game was so lame that you shouldn't look directly at it.
Joel Embiid.
No, not right now.
Really? That's interesting.
If he takes this team to a title, He certainly has that potential.
Okay.
He's a potential Lula star. He's not there.
You got your eye on him.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's one to watch for sure.
Yeah, he's being evaluated by the committee.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go back then. Tim Duncan.
Yes, was a Lula star. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Well, we need the full list.
I think I have it. It's on my computer. I don't know if it might be in my email. Hold on, let me look.
I'm interested in these.
It's a fun exercise. I am very protective of my Lula stars.
I don't know that I don't know that I agree with the premise. I think there needs to be a little bit more wiggle room in the whole championships thing.
Jacob vehemently disagrees with the Lula stars.
Wow, basketball Joe.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Okay, I don't have it on my email. It's on my computer. I can get it out if you want me to.
Poll question up at Happer Show. Did you know the NBA started today? And then Dave writes in obligatory who cares comment. We should do a separate poll question that says something along the lines of, will you just vote who cares on this poll question because, the NBA is starting today and this is like your way of chiming into the show and saying the NBA is starting today?
A little wordy, but okay.
Yeah, no, I mean you could find a poll question in there. Let me leave it up to Josh.
He's the poll question expert.
All right, Robbie. Well, I hate your list.
Yeah, a lot of people do. I feel very strongly about it, though.
I want to find some more guys, and I'm just going to start texting them.
Yeah, just text them to me, tweet them at me.
Right.
Yes or no. That's all I'll respond with.
Thank you, Robbie.
Have a good show.
That is the crossover, and we'll start things off on a Tuesday. Next on 1620 The Zone.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. Previously on the crossover.
I was DD for some nice young co-eds. They wanted to go to a frat house. They didn't want to let me in the frat house. I said, no, that's not the way this is going down, gentlemen.
Nice.
They said something to me. I said something profane, and it was go time.
Let's go.
That's an honorable reason to get in a fight. All of mine were exceedingly dumb.
Mornings on 1620 The Zone. The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 6A to 6P. 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast presented by Bellevue Berry and Pumpkin Ranch from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
The bright sunny skies will continue throughout your Tuesday, along with the unseasonably chilly temperatures. In Omaha, I'm tracking a high temperature of only 42 degrees. You add on a northwest wind, it could feel like the mid-30s through most of the day. For tonight, another cold one, clear skies, calm wind, an overnight low temperature of 19 degrees. I'm meteorologist Anthony Copeland for KETV News Watch 7.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis. Get this date marked on your calendar, Sunday, October the 23rd, because that is the date for their 4-person fall scramble. Only $300 for you and 3 others. You'll, of course, get the golf, the cart, tee gift prizes. You'll get fed lunch and more. It will be an 11 a.m. shotgun start. Sign up today at their website, miraclehillgolf.com/store. They're located just north of Dodge on 120th Street. Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis.
Hi, guys. It's Andrew with Brookside Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Brookside Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Brookside Medical Clinic now. 402-671-7777.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required. Refund available for 60 days after purchase.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. You'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Results are guaranteed or your money back. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/radio. That's forhims.com/radio for your free online visit. forhims.com/radio.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us. That's why MVP's rewards members can earn bonus points on select products from brands like DeWalt, Purdy paint applicators, and GRK screws. Then redeem your bonus points for exciting rewards like tools, grills, Lowe's gift cards, and more. Join Lowe's MVP's Pro Rewards today to start earning. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Subject to program terms. While supplies last. Visit Lowe's.com/MVP's bonus points for details. Now through 10/28.
Chest up, engage your core, dig
At
deep.
Misty's gym, boot camp gets pretty close to the real thing. She wants to spot a personal trainer with a military background.
I can cover this week's boot camp, but we need someone stat. Isn't your cousin a Marine?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Sure, the weather is nice and mild now, but before too long, it's going to be cold, windy, with tons of snow and ice. Is your roof ready? The time to make it ready is now. That's why Complete Industries uses quality products like Scotchgard protected Atlas Pristine shingles. Sturdy, durable, and reliable. So when the storm hits, you'll be more than ready. Complete Industries also works with your insurance. Get a free inspection and estimate on roofs, gutters, siding too.
Visit CompleteIndustries.com or call 402-935-0554.
The passion and excitement of high school football continues every week, and the high school football update covers it all every Saturday morning. Join veteran sportscasters Jim Kelter and Torrey Pantalian Saturday mornings 8 to 10 on 1180 The Zone.
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, here we go. Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone and 1620thezone.com. We're off and running. Somebody asked me today, hey, Hap, are we going to talk some Nebraska football today? And I said, yeah, I think we will.
We just might.
I think we will. I think we'll talk about a couple different things. So there's a quick preview. We'll talk college football potentially at large. We will also talk quite a bit about the NBA or the NFL, not the NBA. The NBA talk is likely over.
Oh, wow.
For the show.
That was our NBA preview?
Unless you want to dive into the graphic that TNT just put out.
It's pretty good.
Of their basically preview of the NBA season that features Charles Barkley driving the bus, Steph Curry just in the front seat hanging on to his championship trophies, Jokic with his 2 MVPs, and then the rest of them are just pretty much a joke. Kevin Durant has 2 phones in his hand. Kyrie Irving is reading a book called Everything is a Lie, and it has 2 pictures of the globe on it. Chris Paul's in the back with a cone on his head. Russell Westbrook is outside of the bus. Jason Tatum is holding a child. It's pretty good stuff.
Jimmy Butler is looking in a mirror with his hair.
This is why oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. That was the NBA storyline of the offseason, basically. Jimmy Butler got more hair.
A lot more. Must be all that coffee he's selling. Spurns hair growth.
So, that's basically what the NBA is. It is about all these side stories. And I will say, I am here for Kevin Durant's burner accounts. I think that's pretty funny. I appreciate Kevin Durant for that.
I've come around on him clowning various Twitter trolls.
And that's NBA talk. NBA talk is complete.
Probably until Christmas.
Unless you want to chime in on how much you hate the Lula Stars list. In that case, we'll take those texts all show long. This just in from Stuart Mandel. Alabama, Tennessee on CBS drew a whopping 11.6 million viewers. It is the most viewed college football game of the season.
For now.
2022 already has 3 10-plus million viewer games. One more than last season had going into conference championship weekend. So there are still huge games in the docket, including, Georgia and Tennessee is coming up in a couple weeks. You still have, Ohio State and Michigan a little bit later on in the year. There's going to be a few more that get added to that list. But yeah, I have sort of noticed that Nebraska and Purdue on the Big Ten Network almost drew 1 million viewers on Saturday night. I just, it's sort of, and I think we all predicted this coming out of the pandemic. It was still a little light last year, but the viewership numbers are pretty eye popping right now for college football. Dare I say, college football is back. We'll talk about the NFL with Allan Bell coming up here in just a few minutes. NFL overreaction coming up. We'll discuss a really sort of splintered NFL right now that has a few good teams, a good chunk of bad teams, and then a whole bunch in the middle where we think they're bad, but we're not sure. So
there's a lot of 3-3 in this league right now,
and most of them sort of trend toward I don't really know what's going on there. And I got some questions and thoughts on the Mickey Joseph conversation, Mickey time update again. And we have playoff baseball tonight with a deciding game 5 in the Bronx that was not played last night.
It wasn't, Connor. It sure wasn't.
Why do you sound like that?
Because the fix is in, Connor. The fix is in. The Yankees.
What are you saying?
The Yankees were a little hobbled, a little tired. They needed a rest. And Major League Baseball gave it to them because there's no one else that's going to draw eyeballs.
I will say that extra day probably does give us an opportunity, give the Yankees an opportunity to put in Garrett Cole if they feel like they needed it tonight, which, yeah.
It gives them a lot of options that they wouldn't have had if the game was played like it was supposed to be played yesterday. Meanwhile, MLS played a playoff game 9 miles away at Citi Field.
All right. Look, the baseball, I'm going to defend baseball. It's me, Connor Happer, here for baseball. There is dirt on the field. And when dirt gets wet, it turns into mud. And mud is dangerous.
Dodgers and Padres played in a monsoon the other night.
Yeah, that was while the game was actually happening. It was in the 8th inning.
Yeah.
And yes, the field turned muddy quite quickly.
Yeah, it did. And they played on.
They did
played right through it.
But they had to, you
that was an elimination game for the Dodgers, Connor.
They had to doctor up the mound. They had to put the quick dry on there. If the guys go slipping around on the mound, we're talking about real injuries here.
It was drizzling
and I will admit,
in New York last night.
This is a sport that guys can go on the 15-day injured list because they have hangnails.
It's true. It's happened before.
But it affects it. You could play with a hangnail in football.
MLB said,
you can't
look,
play if you're a pitcher. You can't play with a hangnail. It doesn't work.
We got the Phillies and the Padres on the other side of this bracket. We need something people will watch. We need the Yankees. Nobody's going to watch Guardians Astros. We need the Yankees.
Come on, conspiracy theory, man.
No, yeah, you can label me that. That's fine. I'll Josh Odson here for Reynolds rap.
We have a rare occurrence here in baseball where we have the ALDS finishing up between the Yankees and the Guardians. By the way, the Astros got to be sitting at home just like,
we ever going to play again?
This is pretty sweet.
They've had like a week off.
And the Phillies and the Padres start the NLCS tonight, and it will be lit in San Diego yet again. Send me to San Diego.
Well, that's going to be a good atmosphere. Hey, Connor, who's pitching tonight?
You Darvish.
Having a pretty good year.
Is that a great year?
I know about that guy.
That's a no-no. All right, so we'll talk about that. Creighton is picked to win the Big East in men's basketball. They are picked second in the Big East in women's basketball. A few all-conference players for the Creighton men as well. Ryan Kalkbrenner on the first team. So this is weird how they do this in the Big East. So they separate out the Big East player, the preseason player of the year. That has gone to Adama Sanogo, that Connecticut one-time Nebraska recruit, by the way. Shout out to whatever may have happened there. Preseason all Big East first team, though, Adama Sanogo, he's not on it. Why do they do it this way? Well, the fact that they did has allowed Ryan Kalkbrenner to be on the team as its center, basically, and he's preseason first team all Big East. Preseason second team all Big East, Arthur Kaluma, Ryan Nemhard. Honorable mention, Baylor Shireman. So that is the majority of Creighton's starting lineup right there that is getting recognized for all Big East honors. 8 out of 11 votes in the coaches poll go to Creighton to finish first place in the league this year. It is the most preseason all Big East players that Creighton has had since joining the conference.
Let's go.
By double, actually. The most they've ever had is 2.
Sam was talking to somebody. He had a good tweet. Kalkbrenner, when asked about Sanogo winning preseason player of the year. I got to be careful with what I say. I'm confident in my abilities. In my head, I know where I'm at. I don't really care. I think we're going to find out when we play them.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, that game, specifically that game they played in Omaha last year, I don't know. Like, they still feel like they can win anyway, but I do feel like, it, just to sort of set the scene a little bit for Creighton this year, I'm just interested to see how that, how Mac pushes and pulls that. Because I think they can still win anyway, but they're going to be a lot prettier on offense. Some of that, I mean, most of what they did last year and how they really sort of, scrapped it up was out of necessity by what they didn't have and the scorers that they didn't have. And they had to really, really lock in on the defensive side of the ball. Are you going to be that imposing of a defensive team again? Well, you have all the same players back. And you're long and athletic still, and you got longer and more athletic with the addition of Baylor Shireman. But it's going to be, they should be quite a bit better on offense.
They're going to be a fun watch.
It should look like Creighton teams of the past as far as the let it fly, get up and down the floor thing. But how does that work with what you want to do on the defensive side of the ball? And you think about how that works with some of the teams in this league. They could play, I think, any of those ways. But I think what they ultimately want to be and what they can be is not what UConn's going to throw at you, not what like Seton Hall's going to throw at you. Seton Hall with their new coach, Shaheen Holloway from old St. Peter's, the Peacocks. They're going to play a rough and tough style, would be my guess as well. And there's a lot of those teams in the Big East. Some do it with a little bit more flair than others, and a little bit more talent than others. But yeah, I mean, as far as that's concerned, I'm just really interested to see how that one falls for the Blue Jays. Quickly, let's talk about the Sicko Ball last night before we get going. By the way, Allan Bell coming up in just a few minutes. Tom Shatel, the Omaha World Herald. That's our lineup, powered by the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. The Denver Broncos are so bad that they will suck everybody else into their pit of despair, and they create horrible, horrible football games out of maybe even good teams. Now, I don't know if the Chargers fall into this category. Side note, I'm quite worried about Justin Herbert being coached by Brandon Staley and what the future of that situation picture looks like.
That is going to careen off of the freeway and just explode before our very eyes.
I do not love that.
One day, yeah.
I do not love that because he was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's still, I think, a little beat up and all that stuff. But They look a whole hell of a lot different. Herbert looks a whole hell of a lot different as well. But the Broncos, they suck everybody into their pit and they make everybody else horrible. They went into overtime last night. Nobody wanted to win the game until the Broncos decided to run into each other on a punt return. And the Chargers decided, here's what we're going to do. We're going to run 3 plays into nothing, and we are going to attempt to let our kicker, who has a wrap around his leg and can't really walk all that well, kick this 40-yard field goal for us to try to win the game because we think that's good enough. If he doesn't make that, it's a tie.
Yeah.
And we tie on Monday Night Football.
And we're okay with that because why would you go out there and try and win a game in the National Football League
when you could just simply not lose?
But luckily, Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, did provide.
Thank you, JC and Dustin Hopkins, for shouting them out. You want to hear more people do this? Dustin Hopkins, thanks to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, knocks down he's an American hero. He saved us all from a tie last night.
Put his life on the line.
His last 2 field goals that he kicked, he like fell down. His body like collapsed on him after that. But he knocks through, I think, 4 field goals last night. And he shouts out old JC after the game, which is really, really nice. I thought that JC should have been named the player of the game instead of Dustin Hopkins. And I think Dustin Hopkins would have told you that as well.
Yeah, no, he seems like a guy that definitely would have. No, it's not me, guys. It's not me.
That was Jesus.
It was JC. And then, I mean,
Dustin, how's it feel to knock down 4 field goals and you're all hurt and everything? Well, first of all, Lisa, I'd like to thank our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Couldn't do any of this without him. And then so what a great time for the specialists too, because they've, Justin Tucker had the post-game interview on Thursday night, and now Dustin Hopkins comes through with the post-game interview. And what happens is the only friends that the kickers and the specialists have on the team is the kickers and the specialists. So he's standing up there in the post-game interview, and the holder or the long snapper, don't know which one, sorry, decided to come through the interview and, pat him on the back and say, hey, nice job, buddy. And you could do that when he's on national TV. If the long snapper or the holder does that to like a defensive lineman or a quarterback in the post-game interview, nobody knows, the quarterback doesn't know who that guy is. So a big moment for specialists last night.
It really was.
In the Sicko Ball Monday Night Football game featuring the Denver Broncos.
And then we got beef with Scott Van Pelt as well.
Yeah.
The show.
I was sitting there waiting for the press conference just so I could hear my good friend Parker Gabriel ask one of his beautiful questions.
R.I.P.
And he starts to ask one, and then Scott Van Pelt says, you know what? Nope, we're coming back. We're coming back in studio. We have to have football analysis now. Russell Wilson, 3 of 11, 15 yards in the second half in overtime. Remember when the Denver Broncos paid him $124 million guaranteed? That's not great.
That's hold on. That's $41.33 million of completion.
So whenever, like, this is kind of the bad thing about playing in primetime every single week, is the Denver Broncos do.
You can't hide.
Yeah. And Russell Wilson just gets beat up every single week.
They got another primetime game, and they also have a London game coming up. But the London game is against the Jaguars, and it is exclusively on ESPN Plus.
What?
So that's got 9-6 written all over it. Right?
That's in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, they were advertising it last night.
They're playing at 7:30 in the morning in Denver.
Yeah. No, that's how London works.
7:30 in the morning in Denver.
It's far away. Yeah.
So they're going to play the Jets this week, and then they're back. It's not exactly prime time, but it is exclusive.
It is, yeah.
ESPN Plus in London at Wembley Stadium. And then they will play a Sunday night game against the Chiefs in week 14. And that will be it for the Denver Broncos primetime experience, which has not gone particularly well.
Our long national nightmare is almost over, people.
Only 2 more weeks of this. And if you sleep through the Jags-Broncos game in a couple weeks,
or if you go,
I think you'll make it.
I haven't used anything on ESPN Plus ever, but I have it. I forgot all about it.
Good text here from Chris in Montana. By the way, you could text in the show, 402-951-1620. Not only do the Broncos suck, but yeah, you have to hate them too for other reasons because it seems like they cover the spread and ruin your bets even when they're sucking. Don't most logical people take the Chargers in the points last night? Arg. Can't they just lose like they're supposed to? Well, not if you listen to me, of course, which you should always do as it pertains to betting because I'm very good at it. And I went 0-4 in 4-quarter pick'em this week.
That was the weekend yesterday. You're 1 for 1, Connor.
I'm really good at the for whatever reason. I'm really good at the Thursday nights and Monday nights. I don't have an explanation for it, but I have a really good track record on the primetime games.
Those are games that typically the outcome runs counter to
exactly what I do.
You're thinking.
I fade my own brain,
especially Thursday night,
and that's what I did last night, and it worked.
Where typically the road team is horrible on Thursday, even though the Washington football team just won.
Let's ask Allan Bell about fading your own brain as it pertains to the.
Let's also ask him about this Titans Stadium and the Tennessee Volunteers and things like that,
and other NFL things. Allan Bell is coming up next. We'll have him and we'll talk some Husker football right after that. Stay tuned. We're up next on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
Who's pitching tonight?
Yu Darvish, having a great year.
The Connor Happer Show.
I know about that guy.
On 1620 The Zone.
What a mess.
1620 The Zone's 4-quarter pick'em returns. It's your chance to win $1,620. All you have to do is correctly pick 4 college or NFL games against the spread. Listen to qualify every weekday or enter online at 1620thezone.com. One lucky listener will be selected each week to make their picks live on air.
Awesome.
Go to 1620thezone.com for complete rules and contest details. It's 4-quarter pick'em with 1620 The Zone.
It's Halloween at Genesis Health Clubs. Join with no enrollment, no contract, and save 20% per month every month. It may be the spookiest time of year, but starting a new fitness routine doesn't have to be scary. Genesis Health Clubs has top-of-the-line equipment and the absolute best personal trainers, tennis professionals, and group fitness instructors to keep you motivated and headed toward your fitness goals. Plus, relax in luxury after with saunas, steam rooms, and fluffy towel service at most locations. Genesis is here to help every step of the way. There's nothing scary about that. This Halloween, join Genesis Health Clubs with no enrollment, no contract, and save 20% per month every single month. But hurry, this offer will end before you have a chance to count your Halloween candy. It ends on Halloween and won't extend. Come to Genesis and get in the best shape of your life so you can handle anything those zombies, werewolves, and vampires throw at you. Plus, get your New Year's resolutions checked off with time to spare. Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com before Halloween to get no enrollment, no contract, and save 20% per month every month.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
They say everyone has a story to tell. Well, no one tells stories better than Audible. It's the home of living your best life, intriguing true crimes, and celebrities you love like John Hamm, Kerry Washington, and Kevin Hart. It's the home of new worlds, old worlds, and ways to make a better world. Audible, the home of storytelling. Audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Start a free trial at audible.com.
Dropkick Murphys, Acoustic, This Machine Theater Tour, November 2nd at Holland Center. Special guests, Jamie Wyatt and Jesse Ahern. Tickets at ticketomaha.com. Presented by Omaha Performing Arts and Mammoth Live.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, use my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed-rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online, and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR. But with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 5.73% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money with a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 5.73% APR to 19.99% APR and include a 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
Bill Jones.
And Olivia.
Here again for Jones Bros Cupcakes and Cafe. Jones Bros is famous here at Omaha for catering delicious breakfasts and lunches for business meetings.
If I own a business, I cater Jones Bros every day.
Sounds good to me, Olivia.
For breakfast, I cater French toast with warm syrup and croissant donuts. That'd be a good day at work.
Go with it, Olivia. Check out our website at jonesbroscupcakes.com for catering.
Jones Bros Cupcakes in Exarban Village.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Allan Bell. Sportsline. On the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome back. A lot to get to with Allan Bell of Sportsline, who joins us now on the Les Hills Harley-Davidson hotline. Hi, Allan. How are you?
Hello, sir. Doing fantastic. How are we doing?
Did the Knoxville party spill into Nashville on Saturday night?
I think it spilled into Cuba. This thing was just going, it was going everywhere. Yeah, man, it was crazy. I don't know where that goalpost is, wherever the Tennessee River flows into. I don't know if it's some sort of outlet for the Mississippi River. It's somewhere. There's a fish living in it somewhere.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to look at that. Does it go into the Atlantic? Does it go into the Gulf? I have no idea where it flows to, but somebody's got a goalpost that just washed up on shore, which is great.
A nice message in a bottle. There you go. That's what you want.
I mean, but seriously though, that was so cool. And we can, I think, sympathize a little bit here in Nebraska because, or look on with a different view, because that's sort of where Nebraska, we've been dying for that win for a really long time. And when you beat Alabama, that pretty much just seals it. Like, you're back.
Yeah. Like, I had a bunch of, I got a lot of friends that are Alabama fans, and, they're like, dude, you won 6 national championships. Like, you're tearing down the goalpost. I said, dude, you don't understand. I was like, we've been kicked in the face for 15 years. Like, people have been going to these games and just having a miserable time. Like, they just want something, anything to be happy about. Like, it was just kind of a coronation, you know what I mean? Of just going through hell for so long. And, it doesn't mean that, Tennessee's now, we're back, baby. Like, I'm not saying anything like that. Like, I've seen collapses come, but, just to have just one happy moment in life, like, thank God.
That's it, man. That's what we're all here for. This is why sports exists. I don't know what the rest of the season holds. Maybe they make the college football playoff and it gets better, but you had the one moment. And that's
let me say, we still got to go play Georgia on the road. So I'm not too fired up about that.
Allan, before we get into the NFL stuff, I wanted to ask you about the potential new football stadium down there in Nashville that seems sort of unnecessary. What do we got going on there?
Yeah, man. So the interesting part, right, is that, the Titans have only been here since 2000. Okay. So the stadium is coming to the point where you either have to renovate it just by, time on these things, or build a new one. All right, and the money, I mean, it's obviously more expensive to build a new one, but like the money is just not worth it to renovate, right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna do that. They've got a big area that they can build upon. Right there, like on the river, right by down like Broadway and all of it. Like it's gonna be legit, and they're smart enough to know that, you know what, like just follow the flow of building a new stadium, a dome stadium, and you can get a Super Bowl.
Yep.
And if the city gets a Super Bowl,
Oh.
it'll be insane.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
we've seen that city in a couple different scenarios, none of which are like a Super. Now the Super
They
Bowl
went hard for the draft,
yeah,
Connor.
The Super Bowl is a little bit different because it's sort of like, corporate washed, and stuff like that. But it's a huge event. I am imagining a Nashville Super Bowl, and everything sounds really good to me.
Dude, and the funny thing, like, I can't wait, and we'll talk about this, 8 years down the road, whatever, right? But, like, the funny thing is, I can't wait to see all, like, the corporate slogans, that are, like with a country twang,
Yeah.
that they all try to get in on it, and it's going to be so cringe, right? But it's going to be funny, but it's smart of them to do it, and the way that it's structured, taxpayers really won't have to cover the bill either, so that's a big thing. They're doing it right.
All right, Allan Bell of Sportsline is with us. We were just talking about this before you came on.
Economic talk.
Yeah, economic talk. Now we'll move on to football. In the primetime games here, I was just sort of explaining my because Josh was like, yeah, well, I want to take the Chargers. I mean, it feels like easy points for us. I've been doing this thing where I basically fade my own brain on these primetime games, and it's worked out so far. Taking underdogs. Underdogs have been really good overall in the NFL this year, but specifically in these primetime games where it's been close. They've been sloppy for the majority of the time. We've had some bad teams in a lot of appearances from the Denver Broncos. We're going to have more of the Chicago Bears coming up next Monday night. Honestly, it feels like that's a trend that probably, has some sustainability.
Oh, big time, man. Like underdogs and unders, man. They're like underdogs are 59% against the spread this year. And unders, especially in prime time, might even be a little bit higher than that. They're way higher than that. I think it's like 12-5 or something around there, right? So, yeah, it's not a bad strategy at all. Look, and I know we had some bad teams on Thursday Night Football, but there's something about Thursday Night Football, right? Like, I think the NFL is going to have to figure out a new plan. Whether
it's tough on those teams.
Have a bye week before it or something. Like, scheduling the NFL is incredibly difficult, so I'm not trying to put more work on that man's plate. But, they're going to have to figure something out because it's just not good football. And look across college football. Like, Wednesday and Thursday games are not that good. Friday, a little bit better, and then Saturday's normal, right? But, these teams that play, Wednesdays and even Thursdays, you're just not getting as good of a game as you do on the weekends. So, I mean, time definitely plays into it.
I saw a theory that was floating around, or an idea that was sort of floating around on this, and I haven't been able to really poke holes on it. So you do that. You give each team that plays before their Thursday night game a bye the week before. That way they could sort of prepare for it. And you don't have the health concerns and hopefully that minimizes the sloppy games too. So you end up extending the regular season out, extending the NFL season by NFL calendar by one more week. You push the Super Bowl back one more week, and then the Monday after the Super Bowl is like President's Day or something like that. And then it's an automatic, you get the national holiday that we've all been dying for anyway.
Dude, how are you not president? That is brilliant. I 100% agree, on all fronts. That really, I'm not even kidding. That really is a brilliant idea. That needs to happen. I'm kind of surprised the NFL hasn't, taken advantage of that because, they, you're going to get, not that they are worried about Super Bowl viewing numbers, right? But, if you have a holiday after that, yeah, man, it's fantastic. Yeah. That's a brilliant idea.
I'm just saying, man, I'm not going to take credit for it, but I will continue to perpetuate the idea. Everybody says it on that Monday. They're like, we need a day off.
Yeah, I'm 100% on that. And then we all know that there are people on the competition committee that listen to this show day in and day out. And they are listening right now. And I'm telling you, do this. This is a fantastic idea. This needs to be done.
Who do you feel worse about, the Packers or the Bucks?
Neither. And I'll tell you why. First off, Aaron Rodgers is turning into everything that he complained about with Brett Favre.
Nice.
I mean, the guy is, right? Like, but here's the deal. Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady both, they just screwed off all offseason. Am I playing? Am I not playing? Am I playing? Am I not playing? They both did that move, all right? They didn't take training camp seriously. They didn't take the preseason seriously. They didn't take anything seriously. They just thought they were just going to show up and play. Now, those two guys are good enough somewhat to do that. But the NFL is humbling them because, you know what? Not everybody else on the team is good enough to do that. And they both have, brand new guys they need to work with on the offensive line, wide receivers, and those are the guys that get hurt by them not being there, right? And look, I'm not blaming everything, all the problems on those two guys. There's much more than that. But Tom Brady, there's never been a time where Tom Brady's skipping Friday and Saturday practices to go to a wedding. He's different. He's different. And Aaron Rodgers is kind of different too. And those guys, I know that they're, yelling at wide receivers and offensive linemen, but they need to look in the mirror. A lot of this is on you, man. I don't feel bad for either.
Why? The question that keeps coming back here is, why did Tom Brady come back? It still doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't know. You could get into conspiracy theories at that point, but it is possible that he came back simply to spite Adam Schefter. I'm really starting to entertain that now.
Oh yeah, that's definitely on the table. Look, I think you asked, seriously, no, I'm not kidding around. I think that you asked a very important question because look at all of what happened. All right, Brady is retired, he's done, goes on a vacation, comes back. Not only does he come back to the NFL, he accepts a second job after, right? And then you fell in. What the hell happened with Bruce Arians?
Yeah,
Brady comes back, he's gone, right? But he gets to pick who's going to be the coach of the team. He's still there, but he doesn't want to coach the team, right? I don't know what in the world happened, but something happened. And then you remember, Brady missing 19 days of training camp. What? He was on some family vacation retreat. I don't know what it was.
Not the Masked Singer.
You're right. Something happened with Tom Brady this summer, and it affected the entire team.
True or false, Allan? The New York Giants are the second best team in the NFC.
I mean, at this point, at this point, true. They just keep finding ways to win. And here's the thing, they got you can't call them fluke wins either because they're coming back from down 10 points.
Yeah.
All of them. You know what I mean? Daniel Jones, this dude is just turned into Spartacus out here. Saquon, he looks like Saquon at past. There's nothing negative I could say. The boys are playing, man. They're playing tough. I got to give credit.
Let's go back to last night here briefly, and then we'll look ahead a little bit. First of all, yes, we need to get the Denver Broncos off of primetime games. They're going to have a London game in 2 weeks, and then there's a Sunday night game later on. So we get a little bit.
We're sending them overseas.
They're going to play in Denver time 7:30 in the morning in 2 Sundays.
Great. Have fun with that, London.
Everybody in Denver will just say, let's pass on it. And they're playing the Jags. So that's
this is gonna have economic trade impact globally.
Yeah, I think so too.
A game is a war crime.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they
this is how World War III started, the Denver Broncos.
We sent the Denver Broncos over, and then everything sort of blew up after that.
Franz Ferdinand.
But they just they just sort of suck everybody in to this big black hole of this is going to be a horrible football game, and they just so happen to be on all these primetime games, and everybody notice it. It's been a horrible go of it for Russell Wilson, who was 3 of 11 and 15 yards in the second half in overtime last night. And I'll remind you, they paid him $124 million guaranteed. There's no way that this can end up in a good spot for them this year. The coach doesn't seem to have any answers. I don't even what do you take away from that game last night?
Yeah, it was the best game that they played. But now, I'm with you. This is a disaster. Russell Wilson is not Russell Wilson even last year. Pete Carroll knew what he was doing in his trade, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
this man fleeced the Broncos on this thing, right? Yeah, it's just tough, man, because you have Ron not playing to the level that he's supposed to. You got a rookie head coach who's never done this before. The quarterback makes 20 times more than the coach or anybody else on the team does. And you got a brand new owner, right, who's walking into this thing saying, what in the hell is this, right? Like, you know,
Interesting investment. Yeah.
Yeah, like I keep waiting for like one of the graphics to show like the Walmart return policy for the Walton family. Like, but you're not going to like return the quarterback. Like, you can't cut him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what they do, man. It's just not good. Their offensive line is a disaster. What happened to Melvin Gordon?
Yeah.
Like, he was like fine, and then he was just gone last night. It was all with Davis Berry. Like, it's just a mess, man. Like, it's just a jumbled mess. And this is kind of what happens. Like, when you don't naturally like figure out your quarterback position and draft him, or you know, make a good trade, you're just chasing, because if you don't have that position settled, I don't care what else you have. Like, you're just not going to do it. So they're kind of like the Indianapolis Colts in the sense of like, somebody over there is going to have to draft a quarterback, and you're going to have to build him up. You might not be great. You might be the Jaguars, but you know what? Jaguars feel pretty comfortable about who their quarterback is going to be. Now they just build around.
Yeah.
The Broncos got to figure that out.
Allan, is there anything that sticks out to you this upcoming week in the NFL? Because there's only one game between teams with winning records, and that is your Titans hosting the Colts, which doesn't seem particularly appealing to a national audience in any sense. Is there anything that sticks out to you, whether it's from a gambling angle or otherwise?
Yeah, it didn't feel appealing from a national perspective. Well, man, I think about that game, right? Because the winner of that game is going to sit atop the AFC South. And if the Titans win, I mean, they've won 4 straight against the Colts now. If the Titans win, it kind of feels like they kind of pull away with this division, even though they're not that great of a team. But I'll tell you this, Mike Vrabel coming off a bye week, dude, the man is never lost. Never lost. Like, this dude just wins and covers, right? And the Titans have covered and won 3 straight now. They kind of figured it out, even though they're still dealing with injury. So, yeah, like if I were betting it, like take the Titans now, but it's at 3.
Yep.
Because once it goes over 3.5, like this game's not going to be very high scoring. Also, the Colts have hit the under instead of its last 11 games. So there you go on that. But yeah, man, like I think this is the game to bet the Titans. So.
Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty slow week otherwise in the NFL. All right, Allan, appreciate your time as always, man. And if you find the goalpost, if it washes up on your doorstep, let us know.
I will, man. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks.
Allan Bell of Sports Slide. He joins us every week to talk some NFL and politics, economics.
Yeah, economics. And he did give us a poll question at Happer Show. Are the Denver Broncos the new Franz Ferdinand? I would vote yes.
I think that's a good poll question. Right up our alley. Come back with some Husker football talk next on the Mickey Joseph situation and elsewhere. Quickly here, the women's basketball AP poll is out. And how about this locally? Creighton coming off of their Elite 8 run, number 21 in the country. Nebraska coming off of a 20-plus win season and an NCAA tournament appearance, ranked number 22. So those two teams ranked right next to each other start of the season. I think Creighton has South Dakota State too early, if not the first game of the year, and they're number 23. And Creighton, you could hear more on this on a couple editions ago version of the 1620 the Jays podcast. But Creighton really loaded up their schedule this year for a team that they think is going to be pretty good. And Nebraska is going to be pretty competitive as well. So that'll be a fun one when they play each other in mid-November-ish, I believe. Usually is. And so we got some good basketball in the state, and intriguing basketball as well. When you include, like Nebraska, what's going to happen with them on the men's side? What's going to happen with UNO and Crutch's first year? Should be a good, fun year of hoops as the preseason polls are out already. All right, we'll come back. Thanks to Allan. We'll have more up next here on 1620 The Zone. This week's Zone deal is for Langfelt overhead doors. You can get a half of a horse. Wait, What's this? A half horsepower. Thank you. Chain lift master door, one remote, and installation valued at $450 for half of that. $225. It is a zone deal. This Friday, October 21st, 9 a.m. You can get on it at 1620thezone.com.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Guess what? It's NBA season, and you can tip off with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers, you can get $150 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Just use promo code ZONE at sign-up. Plus, all customers get 3 months of NBA League Pass when you make a $5 bet on the NBA, courtesy of FanDuel. How about that deal? Then you can watch all the action as you bet on everything from the money line to the point spreads on FanDuel. Plus, on FanDuel, you get your winnings paid instantly. So don't miss your chance to get $150 in free bets plus 3 months of NBA League Pass with promo code ZONE. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA. 21 over, present Iowa, new customers, first online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable. Free bets that expire in 14 days. Existing customers, $5 NBA wager required. Limit one pass per customer across both offers. Restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. NBA League Pass. Local blackout restrictions apply.
It's Halloween at Genesis Health Clubs. Join with no enrollment, no contract, and save 20% per month every month. It may be the spookiest time of year, but starting a new fitness routine doesn't have to be scary. Genesis Health Clubs has top-of-the-line equipment and the absolute best personal trainers, tennis professionals, and group fitness instructors to keep you motivated and headed toward your fitness goals. Plus, relax in luxury after with saunas, steam rooms, and fluffy towel service at most locations. Genesis is here to help every step of the way. There's nothing scary about that. This Halloween, join Genesis Health Clubs with no enrollment, no contract, and save 20% per month every single month. But hurry, this offer will end before you have a chance to count your Halloween candy. It ends on Halloween and won't extend. Come to Genesis and get in the best shape of your life so you can handle anything those zombies, werewolves, and vampires throw at you. Plus, get your New Year's resolutions checked off with time to spare. Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com before Halloween to get no enrollment, no contract, and save 20% per month every month.
West Omaha, you're in for a treat. Cops is now open at 180th and Center. Famous for their pizza and wings, but with their new location comes an extensive new menu that includes salmon, certified Angus beef fillets, ribeyes, New York strips, several pasta dishes, salads, and an extensive variety of shareable appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. Now open at Shadow Lake Town Center and 180th and Center. Click copspizza.com to see the menu. Pizza, steaks, pasta, salads, and so much more.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, use my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR. But with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 5.73% APR with auto pay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money with a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 5.73% APR to 19.99% APR and includes 0.5% auto pay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision. It has been a great summer, but a new school year. The fall, crisp, cool weather will be upon us before you know it, and it is time for you to transition into crisp, clear vision. Who can help you do that? Of course, the fine folks at Kugler Vision, voted Best of Omaha, #1 LASIK provider in Omaha Magazine. They changed my life in 2018. They can change your life today. Visit their website, schedule a consultation, KuglerVision.com.
Hey, real quick, just a quick follow-up on the women's basketball AP poll we just talked about. So Creighton, this is from Glenn Sisk in the Creighton Athletic Department. Creighton women have only been ranked 5 times. This is the 5th time in school history. They haven't been in the AP top 25.
I did not know that.
Appeared in any AP top 25 since March 6th of 2017. And before that, you have to go back to the 1992 season when they were ranked for 3 consecutive weeks in March of 92. So 5 rankings in school history, 3 of them in 1992, 1 of them in 2017, and 1 of them to start the season in 2022, 2023. You would imagine that they would, add more rankings to that if you're starting in the AP top 25. But like I said, a tough schedule for them to start off with. So history on both sides of the Creighton program as far as the AP poll is concerned to start the year. Over the weekend, we haven't heard much on the front, and I don't think it's really that much of a surprise that we haven't heard much concrete information or even reported information or rumors that are out there about the Nebraska coaching search. That has something to do with the way Trev Alberts runs a search, that's for sure. We'll circle back around to that thought in a second. Bruce Feldman chimed in on just sort of the carousel in general over the weekend on Big Noon Fox. And he did drop this. Says it may be tough for Kansas to keep Leipold in Lawrence. We hear he's a serious candidate for the Nebraska vacancy and also one to keep an eye on for Wisconsin if Jim Leonard proves he's not the answer in the interim. Another sitting coach to watch is Jamie Chadwell. He's 28-3 over the past 3 years and has got an offense that a lot of coaches studied. We think he could be very intriguing for Georgia Tech, which is, I think we connected those dots pretty quickly.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
He said on the coordinator side, there are 4 guys that you really need to keep an eye on. Let's start with Alex Grinch at USC. He's improved dramatically. We think he could be a guy at Arizona State or Colorado. Another guy that Colorado could look at is Ryan Walters, who is Illinois' defensive coordinator, who we've talked about before in connection to that job. Feldman says he's taken an Illinois defense that 2 years ago wasn't even in the top 100 in FBS, and now he's ranked #1 in the country. So, yes, that is significant. 2 other guys. Bill O'Brien has head coaching experience at Alabama. We think he'll be in play at Nebraska and maybe at Georgia Tech. And look out for Todd Monken at Georgia Tech and maybe Arizona State. We talked about Deion Sanders a few weeks ago. If and when Auburn opens, we think Auburn will give him a look. Oh, give me the chaos on that. And there are a bunch of other schools that are expected to kick the tires on whether they want to bring Deion in. So, to recap, Leipold, serious candidate at Nebraska. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. And what does candidate mean? I could put him in a list of however many names. But that's some concrete reporting, I think, for one of the first times about this job, with the exception of the whole Urban Meyer fiasco that came and went, like a lightning bolt a few weeks ago. And also Bill O'Brien on the list as well at Nebraska. But this is mostly about sort of the carousel in general. So I want to sort of talk about this and ask you guys this, and you can call or text in the show at 402-951-1620. You can tweet at Happer Show and the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed, or at Connor Happer there as well. So the fact that we've not really gained any ground here on narrowing down candidates, with the exception of that. And that's, once again, I think it's small little crumbs of information that have come out. I guess, where does your brain go when you think that? When you think about that? Is it just the fact that it's too early and these coaches aren't really available yet, and we're still sort of working in, at least from the Nebraska standpoint, in the groundwork phase of things here, maybe starting to engage candidates and starting to engage in their interest and things like that, and the fact that we haven't necessarily pared down a list yet? Or does it make you think that it's not one of the common names that you see on the board? I'll give you a third option. Is this all just the product of us not hearing anything yet, of Trev Alberts keeping it professionally quiet?
That's the one. That's where my brain goes to.
Yeah.
Trev Alberts runs a tight ship. He doesn't run his mouth. People like him in the building, so there's not a lot of leakers. And also, he probably has not actually sat down and interviewed anyone yet.
So it's a little bit more of the timing piece of it than
timing
and Trev.
Timing and a well-run organization.
I still hold out, and it's, I don't know, it's more than a hope, because I think we've sort of studied, what Trev's done and his sort of hiring practices and what he did at UNO, and this is obviously his first really, really big one at Nebraska. High profile one anyway, overall. But I do think he sees things in people that don't show up on the resume. And that's one of the things that time gives you the ability to do, right? You can really dive deep. You can, I don't know if you're not going to go to any games or anything like that, but you can get to know people on a more granular level than you would be if you fired a coach on November 26th and then and then you go turn around and hire a coach on December 10th, right? This gives them now, not that ADs wouldn't be looking before that, but he can get to sort of know coaches and understand them, and when that happens, he can pick out individual qualities about people that he likes and that he thinks would be a fit for this job. And I also think that I think Trev is maybe more of a bigger shooter than we give him credit for. Right? I think there's this sort of assumption with this, and you pair it along with the job, and you maybe pair it along with Trev, and you think, well, Trev's a pretty conservative guy, and he's not gonna take too many risks that put the athletic department in any sort of bad position. And that is all still true. And then you pair that along with the names that have been out there, and it's like, okay, we have up and coming Power 5 coaches. They're young and they've had some success and they're ready for this sort of next spot. And you think, oh, well, this is probably going to be an open and shut case. This is, it's going to end up on one of your Midwestern favorites that you have out there, like a Leipold, like a Campbell, like an Aranda, like a, whatever else comes out of that sort of category of people. But I do think Trev is, I don't know if aggressive is the right word, but I do think we don't give him enough credit for the previous things that I just mentioned. Shooting big and not necessarily caring all that much, at least taking the opportunity. And he's got Big Ten money in his pocket that he could go to coaches or agents and say, hey, look, this is going to be a really good job. And by the way, he's seen the way this season has played out for Nebraska. And Mickey Joseph has been a big help in this category. Because I think if coaches are looking around, they're at their jobs right now, but maybe they're taking a peek and they said, man, if Scott Frost couldn't get it done there, what in the heck are we looking at? And then Mickey Joseph turns around and he gets a couple wins right off the bat, and he looks competitive against Purdue. And, maybe he wins a couple more games this season in games that they're going to be underdogs in. And that next coach will say, or potential next coach will say, that's sort of interesting. Maybe I gotta look a little harder at Scott Frost. And I think that is the appropriate assumption about what the hell is going on here right now. That, that was sort of just a disaster, right? And that the next coach could come in and there is not only something to build off of, you can keep your roster intact if you're looking at it in the immediate, which you don't, that I don't know if that's a huge part of the equation, but you can look at it in the immediate and say, oh, there's some guys here, and I think Mickey will keep them in town, and we'll have the next, guy on staff or him on staff with the next coach. But also that Nebraska, it's a living, breathing example of Nebraska has been so far underperforming even what they have on their roster over the last several years. I could come in and have some success. I think he can sell all those things now to a coach who, I don't know, has been at the place that he's been for a really long time and has had some success there. I'm just saying I wouldn't, and I've said this from the very beginning, nothing's changed here. I just want to sort of reiterate this point that I think that there could be somebody out there still who is not on the list and is, a well-respected coach within the industry already and could be plucked out. I just wouldn't put it past him. And I think for a lot of different reasons of which I just explained, that is sort of happening with the search combined with Trev and sort of what we think about it right now. I don't know. It's kind of where I'm at. So I wouldn't put it to bed. And that's, even though that's the only, sort of reporting that we've heard on the coaching search in a long time, we've gained no ground on this. It could be not one of the common names that you see on the board. Trev also, once again, this would play into the theory as well. As you said it, Josh, he does a really good job and will continue to do a really good job of keeping it quiet. I mean, you would assume something's happened by now, right? I don't know.
I'm sure the search committee has brought him the list of names. He has said, okay, reach out to so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so's agent. Let's see if they're interested. And let's set up an interview down the road because that person is probably still coaching right now.
I don't know if candidates have been engaged, but I would think that something has happened. There's been some movement on the front, and then you are sort of playing out the next month, 6 weeks, and thinking, okay, how's this going to go for this guy, and can we actually make a full-time run at this? And I think it's going to stay pretty quiet, and that's by design. Now, he said at the beginning, he said, well, you're going to hear some things. We have yet to hear it yet. Like, do you think we'll get to, the second week in November and it'll just be loud?
I'm sure once they get closer.
I'm not convinced of that.
Some people's name, because it always comes out as, oh, so-and-so.
It'll come out when it gets really, really close.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
They'll be pared down to 2 names or 3 names or whatever, and we'll have to sort of suss through all that information. But I think we're going to sort of be here for at least the next few weeks.
Nobody's even given us a good, hey, my flight tracker said that so-and-so's PJ came in from Columbus, Ohio.
It's funny. I'm glad you said that because I read a story on The Athletic. They've sort of been going through a series on coaching carousels and stuff like that. And they sort of touched on that, like how ADs are able to keep it quiet. Is a pretty good read. And, they're sending smoke screens and meeting people in different places. If you remember the Scott Frost meeting in Philadelphia, Bill Moose was there, and as he quipped at his press conference, I wasn't there to just get Philly cheesesteaks.
Good God.
He thought he was really smart for that. It wasn't just a sandwich trip.
Why'd you meet him in Philly? We know who we knew who it was gonna be.
They were like playing Temple or something.
Okay.
And they had Davison go up there and him, and they had to like convince him and stuff. Yeah.
Hey, Scott, would you do it if we asked?
Yes. Wasn't just Philly cheesesteaks, but I did have one. And I
Had
put
two.
some Dorothy Lynch on it.
Went out and tied one on after that. Allegedly.
Just to set the, it's not exciting stuff, but and just to sort of set the scene, I think where this heads, and it's going to be quiet for a while, I think. But I more than just a hope for me, I do. I think there could be a guy out there or two or whatever who might not have shown up on any list so far, because I think that's Trev, and he's going to see things in somebody who a lot of people could see, obviously. But it'll be interesting to see where that one heads. All right. 402-951-1620. You can call into the show. Coming up later, we'll have Tom Shatel, the World Herald, on this. We'll probably touch on Creighton basketball with him as well. NFL reaction over reaction coming up. Josh is going to name his worst NFL teams. There is plenty to come. We'll focus in more on the Mickey conversation. As well. And then I want to talk about something that Sipple wrote that I sort of disagree with. Shocker. Right? More baseball coming up tonight in both the ALDS and the NLCS, and of course, day one of the NBA season as well. We'll come back with the odd news next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Number one team in the country in stop rate, Minnesota.
Oh boy, Nebraska uses them in a few weeks.
85%. Number two, Michigan.
Oh, cool. They see them the week after they see Minnesota.
83%.
Very cool.
Number four, Illinois.
Oh, awesome. They see them at the end of the month on the 29th.
81.5%. Have you looked at where Nebraska's ranked?
Yeah.
66. They're only one spot behind Oklahoma.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast presented by Bellevue Berry and Pumpkin Ranch from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly sunny skies will continue throughout the afternoon as temperatures only peak into the mid to lower 40s. In Omaha, I'm tracking a high temperature of 42 degrees. It will be breezy at times. It could feel like the mid to lower 30s throughout the afternoon. For tonight, clear skies, a cold start to your Wednesday. I'm tracking a morning low of 15. I'm meteorologist Anthony Copeland for KETV News Watch 7.
The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis. Get this date marked on your calendar, Sunday, October the 23rd, because that is the date for their 4-person fall scramble. Only $300 for you and 3 others. You'll, of course, get the golf, the cart, tee gift prizes. You'll get fed lunch and more. It will be an 11 a.m. shotgun start. Sign up today at their website, miraclehillgolf.com/store. They're located just north of Dodge on 120th Street. Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis.
Here's to days spent roaming, and to sleeping beneath the stars, to casting another line and letting time float by. From Shadron State Park to Indian Cave State Park and every recreation area, historical and state park in between. Here's to your adventures, your memories. Here's to going out and enjoying your Nebraska state parks. Plan your next trip today at yournebraskaparks.org. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers, offers exterior solutions that help you protect your number one investment. Whether it's roofing and siding or windows and doors, they're committed to excellence, quality, and outstanding customer service in every step of the process. When it's time to protect the exterior of your home, your choice is simple. Turn to who the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Check them out online and schedule a free estimate today. J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers.
Welcome to the Rib Shack, where Miss Jackie, voted best female pitmaster, prepares the true Southern taste of down-home barbecue and soul food. The Rib Shack was first established in St. Louis and now in Omaha. The Rib Shack Smokehouse offers the slow-cooked St. Louis ribs, smoked wings, collard greens, and mac and cheese that you just can't find anywhere else in Omaha. Located on the southwest corner of 108th and Q Street, Rib Shack Smokehouse is bringing that unique southern taste to its new home in the Midwest.
dust. It's in the living room, the bedroom, and the bathroom. It's also in your lungs. Let's fix that, shall we? Duck Defense Midwest offers a comprehensive system that cleans, disinfects, filters, and purifies the air. They'll make your home healthier and improve the life of your HVAC system. So improve the health of your home and everyone in it. Go to cleanairradio.com right now for a special air duct cleaning offer for Zone listeners. cleanairradio.com.
1620 The Zone back on the road each home game Friday with our good friends at Jones Bros Cupcakes and Cafe in Exarban Village. We'll break down all the big games around college football, including the Husker game. Each home game Friday, $6 breakfast entrees. We're doing the show there on location. You know what? If you're the first 20 people that come in and mention 1620 The Zone, you're going to get breakfast free during the show. So get a $6 breakfast when you're at Jones Bros Cupcakes and Cafe in Exarban Village. Plus, you can sign up to win tickets and prizes every home game Friday on 1620 The Zone.
Hey, how are ya? I hope well. Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. And yes, time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. Attention hunters and anglers, there's some fun challenges happening with regard to hunting and fishing in Nebraska. Be sure to check out the Duck Slam, the Upland Slam, the Trout Slam, and take 'em hunting. Get more information on these at outdoornebraska.org. That's outdoornebraska.org. Hey, come see us in the Nebraska State Parklands, will ya? Whether it's to watch wildlife, hike a trail, camp, fish, go to an event, or just plain sightsee, the grounds to Nebraska's many state parklands remain open for you year-round. Just need to have that current state park permit on your vehicle and to bring your own drinking water. Feel free to contact us at the Game and Parks Commission for more details on any outdoor topic. I'm Greg Wagner.
The following is a test of the KOZN emergency system equipment. The data tones you just heard are used in the emergency alert system. This concludes testing of the KOZN emergency alert system equipment. This station serves the Nebraska operational area number 1.
Great party.
Thanks. Can I get you something to drink?
I'd love a cocktail, but I don't want to trouble you.
No trouble at all. I have a Bartesian.
A Bartesian?
The Bartesian home cocktail maker. It's like a coffee maker for cocktails. It freshly mixes your favorite spirits with a cocktail capsule to create the perfect drink every time.
What's in the capsule?
All the premium juices, bitters, extracts, and mixers for the drink of your choice.
Wow. I'll have a margarita, please.
Coming right up. Your margarita.
This drink is perfection.
Get premium cocktails at the push of a button with the Bartesian Cocktail Maker. And with over 50 drinks to choose from, like Cosmos, Old Fashions, Martinis, and much more, everyone gets their favorite drink. And right now, buy a Bartesian and get your first 6 cocktails free when you go to bartesian.com/drinks. Go to BARTESIAN.com/drinks for your free cocktails. That's bartesian.com/drinks.
Dan Thompson of Thompson & Thompson, third generation roofing, siding, gutters, and more, where they're celebrating 25 years of business.
Thank you, Omaha, and all the communities around for putting your trust in us for 25 years. Integrity is what our customers like about us, and they know they can trust us to protect their home and make it look great. Call Thompson & Thompson third generation today and become one of the thousands of customers who are glad they did. Or click thompson3rd.com.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Connor.
It's time for the odd news.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it is.
I was on the phone when you were teasing what was coming up.
It's okay. It's time for the odd news.
I don't listen to the show every day.
Well, it happens. The Braves are playing, right?
Yeah, I'm watching the Braves game. Currently getting a Friends rerun right now.
That's
What's
okay.
up with that?
Yeah, so you don't get to hear the beautiful open today, but it is the odd news.
Mm-hmm. Just pretend that not Rocky and Bullwinkle theme song's playing.
I will say that we had a story that was suggested to us today Would you like to comment? Or would you like to address the allegations?
After the show today, I'm going to take the article and I'm going to take the stuff I don't want to talk about out of it. There is a story going around about Olivia Wilde and her relationship with Harry Styles. We will leave it at that for right now. But there is some stuff that I cannot talk about on the radio involved in that story, and some stuff I will not talk about on the radio involved in that story. And it's all kind of intertwined, and you'd be surprised how little I read these stories before I go on the air.
Yeah, you don't want to be caught in a bad spot.
No.
That's all.
So I'm going to prepare like a good broadcast journalist.
Good. This is a real change for us.
It really is. We're gonna take the time, put in the effort, get the reps in. We're more like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. We just come out here and sling it.
You just think it's going to happen for us.
Yeah. And usually it does.
All right. So we will maybe have that at a later date, but we do have odd news stories anyway, Josh.
Yeah, I feel also I'm big enough of a broadcaster to admit when we kind of failed the audience in not covering the Robert Kraft wedding.
The Robert Kraft wedding?
Yeah, Robert Kraft got married on Friday.
He did?
He did. And we didn't talk about it.
He wasn't married before?
No, that's why he was going to the places he was going to, because he kind of like
he was doing that as a single man.
And I say this jokingly, but also kind of serious. He was kind of just a sad old man, like sad, single, lonely old man, and that's why he was going to the places he was going to.
So that's where Tom Brady was.
That is where Tom Brady was Friday, and he was
and Elton John, I guess,
and Elton John, and this guest list is going to shock you, Connor, and we'll get to that. Robert Kraft tied the knot Friday in a star-studded surprise wedding. The octogenarian owner of the New England Patriots is now husband to 47-year-old Dr. Dana Blumberg. Could be Bloomberg, but it's spelled Blum, so I'm going to say Blum.
Dr. Dana.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a TV show to rival Dr. Phil, right?
Oh, yeah. Just be on the lookout for that one soon.
250 folks showed up for a kickoff and a touchdown soiree in Lower Manhattan. Among the guests, Tom Brady, a bunch of other expatriates. None of them are named. Meek Mill, John Bon Jovi. That's right. Meek Mill went to the Robert Kraft wedding.
You want to know the former Patriots?
I'm going to bet Teddy Bruschi. Wes Welker.
I'm just going off of the list that ESPN has given me.
Okay. Please, if you got them, read them off.
Drew Bledsoe.
Oh, way former Patriots.
Randy Moss.
Oh, great.
Andre Tippett. Vince Wilfork.
Yeah.
Richard Seymour. Ty Law. Gerard Mayo. Troy Brown. Current Patriots, Devin McCourty, Matthew Slater, David Andrews. Wow, what if you were a Patriots player and you were not invited to the Robert Kraft touchdown and kickoff soiree wedding?
He's got the cover of, we only had 250. We only had room for 250. I just didn't.
Oh, is that what he capped it at?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Tom, by the way, showed up alone. Went stag to the wedding.
Yeah.
That's because Giselle was at home with the kids.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about that. A 10-minute video played, a video Bob and Dana put together, and then Al Michaels introduced them to the crowd.
Wow.
Live and in person, not on.
Do you think Al enjoyed that gig or doing Denver Broncos games more?
The wedding, because he could do it with a cocktail in his hand.
Yeah.
It was
sure. Guaranteed.
I know you're wondering, Connor. It was a traditional Jewish ceremony. Robert Kraft smashed a glass during the nuptials. Oh yeah, and Elton John and Ed Sheeran were there performing as well.
Wow. Now Ed Sheeran was not there on Ed Sheeran and Elton John. They were not there because they are friends of Robert, or they were just there as performers.
I don't know. That is unclear.
I bet
there's some friendship.
I bet Kraft and Elton John have probably, bumped elbows a couple different places.
Hey, thanks for letting me
Not sure about
play your
Sheeran,
building.
though.
Well, Sheeran is a friend of Elton John, so I wonder if he's like, hey, Ed,
one.
I can get Ed to come on down.
Yeah.
He's a little pipsqueak. He can do what I see, does what I say.
Pop on over.
Uh-huh.
Wow. It sounds like a really, really fun time.
Mazel tov to the couple.
Yep.
Love it. Love it.
Dr.
L'chaim.
Who?
Dr. Dana.
Dr. Dana.
Yeah. We go to California for our next story.
Would you marry an 80-something-year-old man?
A person of that much wealth? Yes. Yes, I would.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Poll question?
Poll question. You want to type that up while I read this story?
Yeah. How old is he?
Robert Kraft, he is listed as an octogenarian. He is exactly 81 years young.
All right. Would you marry an 81-year-old man? Or would you marry an 81-year-old? We don't want to alienate anybody.
Yeah. Love is love.
Okay.
$10.5 billion is his net worth, by the way.
Got it.
Would-be thieves blow up an ATM in California, fail to walk away with cash. Someone blew up an ATM in Palmdale, California, but didn't make out with any cash. The LA County Sheriff's Department said bomb techs responded about 5:30 a.m. on Sunday. They discovered a Bank of America machine had been blown apart by an explosive device with pieces and debris scattered about the area. None of the cash in the machine was able to be accessed, as the people who create ATMs think of this sort of thing and make sure you can't get in there. An investigation is ongoing. No description of the suspects were available.
Blew up an ATM, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I've always wondered.
I watched a TikTok, and I don't do that often, so this was a big deal, of somebody. They bought an ATM in a storage wars type situation, and they got the Sawzall out to hey, did we come into any money in this ATM? And it took them about 90 minutes to get into the cash drawer.
So you can buy those without knowing how much money is actually in them. Now, chances are there's nothing in them.
Correct.
If
There
they
was
are old abandoned ATMs.
There was nothing in this ATM for this team who had worked so hard to get in.
They're really taking a pretty big risk there that somebody just left an ATM with money in it.
Yeah.
You don't think anybody thought about that when they were retiring the ATM? Come on, guys. Let's think a little bit here. But it is intriguing. What's inside here?
It's America. It's get rich quick, baby.
I would buy an ATM and then I would fill it up with Happer bucks or something like that. And then, make a very special card and be able to put that and get Happer bucks out whenever I want, as much as I want. That would be pretty cool to have in your house, wouldn't it?
It would. Oh, just go get some Happer bucks out of the machine there.
You could get some gumballs or get some snacks out of the pantry.
Get yourself something nice.
That'd be super fun. I want to do that, actually.
We go to Utah for our final story. A Utah man has gone viral for renting out a Salt Lake City area billboard to read Weezer.
Oh, just a big fan?
That's it. The billboard just says Weezer in, I believe it's Comic Sans.
And this was not Weezer who rented this billboard?
No, it was not. It was a man in Salt Lake City because, no spoilers. CEO Corey Wynn, he owns a T-shirt retailer. He took out the billboard on his own in June and had it just say Weezer. The billboard gained some notoriety within the area, and he tells the local media, yes, I did pick Comic Sans because it is the worst font ever.
Nice.
He said the stunt, which went viral after he posted it to TikTok, was inspired by a shirt that he created, and because he owns a T-shirt retailer. The band has seen it.
He's got a shirt that says Weezer.
Yeah. The band has seen it, and they rented out a billboard just down the street from this other billboard, and it says, thanks to whoever bought the billboard down the road, Weezer.
Great job by Weezer. I like that. We've talked about this before. Billboard wars or billboard messages, those are always funny. If
Yes.
people are just messing around with billboards, because it's something different than just, come visit whatever.
It gets people talking when they see a unique billboard, not something advertising the same old, same old. For
Got
sure.
people talking in that one movie.
Oh, yeah.
There were 3 billboards.
There were
though,
3.
And they were outside Ebbing, Missouri. That was a good movie.
It was a good movie.
I've seen movies.
You
Josh.
have. You big movie guy now.
I dropped The Place Beyond the Pines earlier during a break.
Uh-huh. And I said, I just love that that's your go-to Ryan Gosling
It
movie.
is. He was great in that movie.
He was great in that movie. It's a great movie. Not the first movie I think of when I think of Ryan Gosling.
Okay, well, what is that?
The Notebook, Drive.
Drive for sure. Not The Notebook.
I mean, that's the biggest movie he's ever done, right?
What about that one movie with Steve Carell and what's her name?
Crazy Stupid Love?
Yeah.
That's
What's
a
that
great
girl's
movie.
name? Emma Stone.
Yeah, that is correct. La La Land.
La La Land. That was a
Yeah.
good one.
He saved jazz, Connor.
He did.
He saved jazz.
He did. No, Place Beyond the Pines, better than all of those.
The Nice Guys. People like that movie.
That was a good movie.
I was a little,
I'm a Gosling guy.
Are you a Gosling guy? Poll question.
Yes, poll question.
I think America is a Gosling.
Oh no, I'm a Gosling guy. If you're not a Gosling guy, you're just lying to yourself. He's great. He's a great actor. He's funny.
If you have not Googled him as he's going to play Ken in the Barbie movie, if you have not Googled those images,
yeah, I don't want to do that.
Look it up because he looks exactly like the Ken doll.
He's had a pretty good list. He's a great actor. I
want to see what
JP says. He was on Remember the Titans. I remember that as well.
Sunshine.
And I remembered the Titans.
That's right.
People haven't been able to stop getting on him after all these years about getting absolutely cooked.
Let's see. La La Land is the movie he's been in that made the most money worldwide.
Second place Beyond the Pines.
Second place is Blade Runner 2049.
Nobody cares about that movie.
Yeah, I agree. I love that movie, and I agree that no one cares about it. Domestically, Remember the Titans is second.
That's not surprising, but he wasn't. That doesn't count. It was not. That was not a Gosling.
That
movie.
is a Denzel Washington.
It was a Denzel movie, the greatest actor of our generation.
Thank you. Of any generation.
Oh, of all generations.
Of all generations. The Notebook would be fifth.
Right behind A Place Beyond the Pines.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14th. The Place Beyond the Pines. $21 million.
We got to bump that up.
Those are rookie numbers.
Time to start fudging the numbers on A Place Beyond the Pines. Great movie. Bradley Cooper. It's like two movies in one. Eva Mendes.
Yeah.
That one guy, I can never remember his name, but I like him.
That's where that couple got it going.
All right.
Vote on the Pines.
Vote on the poll question at Happer Show. Are you a Gosling guy? I would expect that to come back overwhelmingly yes. That's the odd news. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
We'll come back with the noon hour. I still have NFL reaction overreaction to get to, a question regarding Mickey Joseph, and a thought from me. Let's tease this up as much as we can without giving really anything away. People are saying something right now, and I don't understand it. There we go. Next on 1620 The Zone.
1620 The Zone's four-quarter pick'em returns. It's your chance to win $1,620. All you have to do is correctly pick 4 college or NFL games against the spread. Listen to qualify every weekday or enter online at 1620thezone.com. One lucky listener will be selected each week to make their picks live on air. Awesome. Go to 1620thezone.com for complete rules and contest details. It's four-quarter pick'em with 1620 The Zone.
Buy your next vehicle your way from anywhere with Woodhouse. Start your journey online at woodhouse.com. Easily shop all new and pre-owned inventory. Explore payment options and apply for financing. Ready to purchase? Schedule your new vehicle for pickup from the dealership or have it delivered to your driveway. Need a little extra help in determining your perfect vehicle? Our knowledgeable and local dealerships can guide you to the vehicle that best matches your needs. Experience car buying your way with Woodhouse, a trusted auto partner since 1975.
It's Halloween at Genesis Health Clubs. Join with no enrollment, no contract, and save 20% per month every month. It may be the spookiest time of year, but starting a new fitness routine doesn't have to be scary. Genesis Health Clubs has top-of-the-line equipment and the absolute best personal trainers, tennis professionals, and group fitness instructors to keep you motivated and headed toward your fitness goals. Plus, relax in luxury after with saunas, steam rooms, and fluffy towel service at most locations. Genesis is here to help every step of the way. There's nothing scary about about that? This Halloween, join Genesis Health Clubs with no enrollment, no contract, and save 20% per month every single month. But hurry, this offer will end before you have a chance to count your Halloween candy. It ends on Halloween and won't extend. Come to Genesis and get in the best shape of your life so you can handle anything those zombies, werewolves, and vampires throw at you. Plus, get your New Year's resolutions checked off with time to spare. Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com before Halloween to get no enrollment, no contract, and save 20% per month every month.
With some big-time events coming up, including the Luke Combs concert at the CHI Health Center right here in Omaha, October 28th and 29th. Be sure to check out my friends at TicketsForLess.com. It's not all about sports. It's about shows, and it's also about finding the best tickets at TicketsForLess.com. So whether you want to see the pageantry at Memorial Stadium on a Saturday, catch a game at Arrowhead Stadium, Tickets for Less is your source for the best tickets. Also, without those crazy per-ticket fees you'll pay on other sites, trust me, you'll keep going back to TicketsForLess.com. Compare and save today at TicketsForLess.com.
An estimated 80% of Americans aren't getting their recommended daily amount of physical activity. It's time to move and keep moving, America. And when you need help, physical therapists and physical therapist assistants are by your side. Be your own champion. Choose more movement. Choose better health. Choose physical therapy. Find out more information and a physical therapist at choosept.com/NE. Brought to you by the American Physical Therapy Association of Nebraska.
Follow your imagination to the Bellevue Berry and Pumpkin Ranch. Bring the whole gang and explore for treasure on the pirate shipwreck. See how the West was fun. Pretend you're a superhero as you jump on giant bounce pads. Maybe reserve your own campfire rental where you can roast marshmallows and tell stories. It's all up to you. And of course, go on a hayride and grab your own pumpkin. Priced by the size, not the pound. Follow your imagination at the Bellevue Berry and Pumpkin Ranch. 48th between Cornhusker and Highway 370. More info at BellevueBerryFarm.com.
Ew. Stuck in a cycle of rewashing your clothes? Ugh. Because you can't remove tough laundry odor? Ugh. When detergent by itself can't cut it, use new Downy Rinse and Refresh. With a breakthrough odor-removing formula, it removes odors in one wash, better than the leading value detergent in 3 washes, keeping all your laundry fresh. Now you can break the cycle of rewashing with Downy Rinse and Refresh.
Welcome to the Rib Shack, where Miss Jackie, voted best female pitmaster, prepares the true Southern taste of down-home barbecue and soul food. The Rib Shack was first established in St. Louis and now in Omaha. The Rib Shack Smokehouse offers the slow-cooked St. Louis ribs, smoked wings, collard greens, and mac and cheese that you just can't find anywhere else in Omaha. Located on the southwest corner of 108th and Q Street, Rib Shack Smokehouse is bringing that unique Southern taste to its new home in the Midwest.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
All right, welcome back. Connor Happer, Josh Hudson with you on a Tuesday edition, the Connor Happer Show, 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. Happy bye week to everybody. No Mickey Joseph today as Nebraska hopefully gets healthy.
It's a bye week for Mickey too, guys.
It's a Mickey bye week too. I'm sure he's doing something because he doesn't have hobbies because he's the Nebraska football coach. Let's take a phone call to start the hour on the Les Hills Harley Davidson hotline from Random Mike. Hi, Mike.
Hey, question. The elite position in American sports.
Okay, a lot of different ways to go with this.
Quarterback.
I would probably start with quarterback.
I would too. No, I think it's true. College and pro.
Yeah. For sure. Yep.
I got to tell you though, and you're a baseball guy. You still broadcast high school sports? You used to do that. What was the deal?
Haven't done as much this year just because there haven't been games to do. But yeah, I mean, I do love doing games for sure.
For high school football games?
Yep.
You did play-by-play?
I did.
Was this in Lincoln?
Yep.
Do you have any connection with Cam Kozo?
Other than watching him play baseball at the state tournament when I was parked out at Warner Park for a couple days, no, I've never met him.
Have you seen him as a quarterback? Because I understand last year he didn't. They had that other guy that is he at Nebraska now? The linebacker,
yeah. what is his name? Gosh. But yeah, he ended up at Nebraska. Yeah.
I have to tell you, I've called actually Gary about this yesterday, and that game with Millard South and West Side. Did you happen to see it?
Yeah. No, I mean, I didn't watch the whole game, but I definitely saw the highlights. And yeah, Coach.
I knew nothing. I'm ignorant. I knew nothing about this kid as a baseball player or as a football player.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that Sauter and I keep talking about. Like this is a story. He's the guy who committed to Vanderbilt for baseball. Who, I mean, he just doesn't get enough run. I mean, this is a really, really great athlete that we're talking about.
And he's a great quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's got the arm.
Now he's not big, right?
Right.
But that's sort of the knock if he's going to try and play, which he's not. Right. He's going to play baseball, but
How tall is the Cardinals quarterback?
Kyler is, I don't know, probably no more than 5'9", being around him at the College World Series this year.
I think he's shorter than Cam. But I had Doug Flutie, similar size. There's just something about having the big arm if you're mobile and you're tough. And that one play he made, I don't know if you saw it toward the end of the game, when he broke like 5 tackles and threw it, 40 yards right on target.
Yeah.
And do you remember a few years ago, Cole Payton made an unbelievable play in the championship?
I do. Game. Yep. I did that game.
Well, Cole Payton is a huge individual. I mean, I think Cole Payton's one of those guys that could play every position on the football field.
For sure. Just a great athlete. Yeah.
Yeah. This guy is not huge, but he's got huge legs. All I'm saying is this kid could play. I think I'll be honest with you. I think he's better than any quarterback that Vanderbilt or Nebraska have.
Yeah. I mean, there's just certain athletes. And I think Cole Payton's career will sort of turn out that way at North Dakota State too, where you just know like that guy can play and that guy can, you put him in a position and he's going to do something.
But this kid, and I'm very familiar with Vanderbilt. I happened to go there for some of my education, and I went to Creighton, and I'm fans of both. But my heart's with Nebraska. And why did Nebraska go after this kid as a baseball player?
Yeah, that I don't know. I don't know much about it. I mean, he's still, relatively young. I would assume so, but it's just an assumption.
Because and Vanderbilt might be perfect for him, but I think he's too good a quarterback not to play quarterback if he enjoys it. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah. I don't know, man. He's really good at baseball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so is Kyler Murray, but look what he's doing.
Yeah. I mean,
you remember Strickland, or is that before your time? I think he had a pro baseball contract while he played basketball.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of different stuff. Yeah, he was an incredible athlete.
A great all-around athlete. But I'm blown away about how good this kid is as a quarterback and what a difference he makes to that team. And I can see him making the same difference to the Vanderbilt. It might be better, actually, as much as I love Nebraska. I think he could play maybe both at Vanderbilt. I know this is all crazy, but he can make a big difference. And, Flutie was voted the best quarterback ever, the best player ever in Canada. And then he comes back to the NFL in his late 30s and he makes All-Pro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Part of it is having the mobility and the toughness and the smarts and the big arm. The big arm is huge.
Yeah.
And this kid has the big arm. I mean, you know more about this than I do. You agree he has the big enough arm to be a major college?
Oh, yeah. I mean, from the arm talent perspective, for sure.
Those throws he made all the throws. I mean, all of them. And there was some finesse. That one little trick play they had for the touchdown. Did you see that in the game where he tosses it to the end and in the end throws the touchdown?
No, I didn't see that one in particular.
It was beautiful. But the point is he makes the finesse throws and the deep throws. He's just got a huge arm. And maybe he does what Schwellenbach did here, where he's the closer and the shortstop. Is that possible?
Yeah. That would be a hell of a deal. I mean, they've had guys who tried to play football and basketball before. But
do they make the playoffs, Millard South? How does that work? Is there a 500 team?
Yeah, I think they're right near the edge in terms of wild card points right now. That'll all be sort of sorted out this week.
They got to win this week.
I would guess so, but those wild card points, man, they're so weird. And all I know is I wouldn't want. We were talking about this with Sutter in the week too. I don't want to play a team like that as a 2 seed or something like that, getting ready for my first playoff game.
Yeah, exactly. I got to tell you, we talk about the elite position in American sports. Totally agree. But the position that I love watching, even if I don't have a player I love or a team that I love, where I will record it, is a quarterback like him or Lamar Jackson or even Johnny Manziel. The guys that can run and throw, or Doug Flutie, or you know what I'm saying? They're just so much fun to watch.
Yeah. No, guys could just make plays. Hey, thanks, Mike.
Take care, buddy.
So Millard South, by the way, 12th right now in wild card points. I want to play them if I'm the 4 in the first game. That would be Grand Island, by the way.
Ooh.
Right now.
Anchor down.
So, I mean, this is a bigger picture thing too. It's not just about Cam Kojal, who's a hell of a baseball player. But the idea of, I don't know, you just hope that you, especially with kids from Nebraska, and this is not just speaking about Nebraska football. This is not just speaking about Nebraska baseball. This is sort of just a worldly view of things. But the idea that if he doesn't sort of match up and reach the measurable piece, that he is automatically ineligible to be whatever it is at the next level. That's one that's always hurt, hurt to hear, as a guy who played baseball and was okay at it, and then was also 5'9". I had to list myself at 5'11" on the rosters because, I just wanted to be a little bit taller or whatever.
Liar.
But, guys who are just freaking competitors and, grade out well in the other areas of whether it's, the skill set or the off the field stuff and the game in general. I always hate to see kids like that go elsewhere. And I think, Nebraska probably does too, but at the same time, they've taken a lot of other guys who are viewed to be quote unquote projects and would be long-term things, because they have high ceilings. And, frankly, Nebraska hasn't had a coaching, we're talking about football now. Nebraska hasn't had a coaching staff in place for a long time to where it feels like, okay, they can afford to take a guy who's a lottery ticket, who, could be good in 3 or 4 years, whether it's on the offensive line or whatever it might be, and put them in our system, and we can develop them, and they will get to whatever that potential is by the end of their career. Nebraska hasn't had a coaching staff in place that I felt confident in their ability to do that, or they've been able to do that just point blank in a while. In quite some time now. So that's a piece of this too. And it makes it even more of a reason to take guys who sort of what you're getting, and they can play, and they go out there and make plays. I've always wanted, stats. We look at them to a certain level at the high school level, and it's like, okay, what were they doing, and who was it against? But I do think that's something that you can look at in a little bit more of a realistic way as you project it to the college level now, because and we're talking about in the state of Nebraska, because you got some kids who, and there are going against the competition level in the metro and in the state is pretty significant. I don't know if there's a lot of empty stats. Like, you don't see a whole lot of 1,500-yard rushers anymore who couldn't go on to the next level in college in the state of Nebraska and actually play college football, So I think we've seen a slower, gradual turn of that dial, but I'd like to see it more. Guys who could play, I stumped for Isaac Gifford a couple of years ago, watching him closely at Lincoln Southeast. And I go, and I remember the conversation I was having it with the recruiting guys at the time, saying, they just, you get them on campus and you just don't know what to do with them. You don't know where to put them. And I go, I don't freaking care.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. Look at him, watch him play football. The guy can make plays. That's up to you to find a place to where you think he can flourish as a coaching staff.
Scheme
the guy can
something
play.
for him. Yeah, package something for him.
So I stumped for him big time, and I think, he's popped off the page a couple times athletically, and he's made some plays for Nebraska early in his career. And that was the guy Nebraska had to offered late. So there's the timing aspect of it too, where you gotta identify. You don't have to go overboard. You don't have to offer 50 guys in the state or whatever it is. But there's guys who could just play. And I don't know, that's sort of a spin-off of that conversation. But I do agree with Mike. Cam Kojal is a pretty good player. I didn't know he called in on earlier shows and talked about this talked about it as well. All right, we will come back. We do have NFL reaction, overreaction. Still want to ask the question, or you know, I had that great tease before.
It was a great tease. People
are saying something, and I don't understand it.
Ooh,
still a tease. We'll leave it out there. NFL reaction, overreaction is next on 1620 The Zone.
Caller 4 right now, 402-951-1620. Qualifies for 1620 The Zone's 4-quarter pick'em. It's your chance to pick 4 football games correctly against the spread to win $1,620. Call 402-951-1620. Call now to qualify with 1620 The Zone. Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision. Fall means outdoor activities. Don't miss a moment this fall. Head over to their website today, KuglerVision.com, and schedule a consultation. Low monthly payments are available, KuglerVision.com.
At Lenahaw, our homegrown trees boast the most vibrant colors of fall, reds, yellows, and oranges. Shop our garden center today for the best selection of plant material and seasonal decor. When you think fall, think Lenahaw, 192nd and Center.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required. Refund available for 60 days after purchase.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. You'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Results are guaranteed or your money back. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
It's Halloween at Genesis Health Clubs. Join with no enrollment, no contract, and save 20% per month every month. It may be the spookiest time of year, but starting a new fitness routine doesn't have to be scary. Genesis Health Clubs has top-of-the-line equipment and the absolute best personal trainers, tennis professionals, and group fitness instructors to keep you motivated and headed toward your fitness goals. Plus, relax in luxury after with saunas, steam rooms, and fluffy towel service at most locations. Genesis is here to help every step of the way. There's nothing scary about that. This Halloween, join Genesis Health Clubs with no enrollment, no contract, and save 20% per month every single month. But hurry, this offer will end before you have a chance to count your Halloween candy. It ends on Halloween and won't extend. Come to Genesis and get in the best shape of your life so you can handle anything those zombies, werewolves, and vampires throw at you. Plus, get your New Year's resolutions checked off with time to spare. Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com before Halloween to get no enrollment, no contract, and save 20% per month every month.
Inflation. For families in need, it can create obstacles everywhere they look, in cupboards that don't get filled, in bills that pile up, in rent that doesn't get paid. But you can help them find a way forward by giving to the Salvation Army. Here in the Metro, we serve families with the support they need to get back on their feet by providing food, shelter, utility assistance, and more. Join our effort to put love above all else. Give to the Salvation Army today at omaharedkettle.org. That's omaharedkettle.org.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Cubby's supports the PACE program with Raise Some Dough. For every large pizza sold at Cubby's in the Old Market, Cubby's gives $1 to the Police Athletic League, serving at-risk and disadvantaged inner-city children with athletic and educational programs. PACE has over 5,800 program participants. The league reaches kids that would not normally be able to participate in athletics like soccer and baseball due to financial situations and family dynamics. PACE wants to give every kid the opportunity at athletics and a healthy and safe environment. If you'd like to support PACE too, go to paceomaha.org.
Hey, before we get to NFL reaction, overreaction here, Andrew Siciliano in his ears.
They hear everything. Careful.
Well, he heard a tweet from Tom Pelissero. He says, our Tom Pelissero just reported on NFL Now on the NFL Network that Russell Wilson is getting an MRI on his hamstring. Could be a, quote, fairly significant injury.
The injuries and excuses are piling up for Russell Wilson.
Oh, come on. He's hurt.
Yeah, that's why he's bad. That's why that team is terrible.
That's not why. But he is hurt. Right? Two different things.
What's the Broncos quarterback roster looking like?
Oh, that's a great question. Is it Trevor Siemian time?
Let's see. Sort by position, please. Why is the Q so low in the alphabet? You know that's why I'm here. Something called Brett Ripien.
Brett Ripien, yeah.
Is that Mark's kid?
I don't know.
That's it.
Who's Mark?
Mark Ripien, the Washington quarterback. Played in the NFL.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. It's like, what? Brett? Yeah, I don't know if they're related.
That's it. That's the only quarterbacks they have on their roster.
Okay, well, that's their next starting quarterback then. Sounds like Russell Wilson might miss some time here. Potentially. All right. NFL reaction, overreaction from week number 6 in the NIFL.
Josh Johnson on the practice squad.
Oh, there you go. Could elevate. They'll probably trade for like Andy Dalton or something like that. I don't know.
No, New Orleans still needs him, I think.
Maybe Cooper Rush. Maybe Cooper Rush gets a look somewhere else. No, they're gonna hang on to him too. All right, NFL reaction, overreaction. Josh, you have the takes.
I have the takes.
And you're set to fire them at me.
You tell me if they are a reaction, a proper reaction, or an overreaction.
Okay.
Take number 1. The Green Bay Packers will miss the playoffs.
Huh. Okay. I don't know if I'd go that far yet.
Yeah, that feels a little much.
3-3. They've looked truly horrible as of late, including a thrashing by the New York Jets. They get the Commanders, then the Bills, Lions, Cowboys. It's a little up and down as far as the schedule is concerned. Here's the thing, though. Like, there's just nobody in the NFC. I mean,
yeah.
We'll talk about all these teams, but you got Philly, you got the Giants, you got the Vikings who are 5-1. Somebody's going to win the NFC South and somebody's going to win the NFC West. And then you got to come up with 2 more playoff teams.
There are 6 teams in the NFC at 3-3.
Yeah.
It's not even Halloween yet, but if the playoffs started today, the Packers would miss the playoffs. They would be the 8th seeded team in the NFC.
They are maybe we could do let's do a little 3-3 NFC game here.
Okay.
Just an offshoot of the question. The 3-3 NFC teams are as follows: Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, San Francisco, LA, and Seattle. Like, give me a stock report on who do you feel best about out of that group?
Wow. Who do I feel best about in that group?
Yes.
Wow, what a terrible question. No, I mean it's a great question by you.
Those teams, a couple at least of those teams are making the playoffs. Sorry to break it to you.
Oh my goodness. Why? Even though they have erratic quarterback play, why is the answer the Niners?
I would have zoned in on them first as well. And the rest of it is, okay, what do we do with Tom Brady / Aaron Rodgers?
Mm-hmm.
And if they could sort of come out of their shells a little bit here.
Yeah. I liked what
both of
Allan
those teams will have
said
a chance.
in our conversation earlier that, hey, they didn't do off-season stuff. They didn't do preseason stuff. But we are 6 games into the season.
I don't think this is a terrible overreaction. It is definitely something to really, really start to think about. I mean, the Packers just don't look good right now.
Instantly it hits the ear and you go, no, that's dumb. You're dumb. But you look at it.
Life comes at you fast.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of.
Oh.
Next.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
That was my cue.
Yeah.
I thought you had some breaking news over
there.
No. Tom Brady will retire before the season ends.
A little out there.
That's another one that
a little out there.
It hits the ear and you go, no, that's dumb. You're dumb.
We've floated this idea before. Bucks, notoriously bad vibes team. They've lost to the aforementioned Packers. They've lost to the Chiefs. They have now lost to the Steelers and ruined everybody's teaser over the weekend. Everybody.
A lot of survivor pools went down.
Yep. If they lose this week, it could get going downhill real quick. They are in Charlotte to play the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, yeah. No, not an option.
Not an option to lose?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. They got to win that game.
And then it's Ravens, Rams. All of a sudden, the sneaky good Seahawks. Yeah, that's the Germany game.
That's no cakewalk. I have always thought that there was a path to this potentially happening. I was worried because they got off to that 2-0 start. But I do think if they their defense was all over the Cowboys in week 1, and they snuck away from the Saints without playing any offense in week 2. And if they would have been 0-2 after that, they would have started 0-4, and this very well could be done already. I wouldn't put it to bed. I don't think this is a terrible overreaction. I think he could, all the stuff with Tom Brady, he could walk away.
So, I mean, going further into their schedule here, we said the Panthers, we said Ravens, Rams, Seahawks out in Germany. Yeah, anything could happen in Germany,
Germany.
You don't know how everybody's going to react to that kind of travel. I believe they play at Cleveland after 2 weeks after that, and that is the last suspension game for Deshaun Watson.
Oh,
if my math is correct.
Okay.
And then they get the Saints, who they've notoriously had trouble with.
This is not an easy schedule.
Niners, Bengals, and then it's Cardinals, Panthers. But it sounds tinfoil hatty, but I cannot immediately dismiss Tom Brady just taking his ball and going home.
Yep.
Same
here.
He can fall back on hey, my life's in shambles. I gotta go take care of me.
He doesn't want to be here.
Uh-huh.
He does not want to be playing football right now.
Certainly doesn't look like he's having fun.
He's yelling at everybody. He's having crazy outbursts.
If
he's mad about losing to Kenny Pickett.
Look at what happens if and when Odell Beckham Jr. signs somewhere. Because if it's not in Tampa, he might just go, well, you're not getting me any weapons. There's no help coming. There's no savior coming.
What free agent would want to play there right now?
Right? Tom Brady's going to yell at me all day, every day. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to put in all the work, and Tom Brady's going to be a part-time employee. No, thank you.
This is not out of the picture. Not out of the picture. Neither of the first two are out of the picture.
Take 3. Nobody is close to the Eagles and the Bills right now.
Would you put the Chiefs in the same category?
I would put the Chiefs in this category. I would immediately dismiss this take and go, the Chiefs on any given day could beat both of those teams.
Would you put the Giants in this category?
I think they're a little bit of fool's gold, even though they're certainly better than I thought they would be.
It's about this time every year where we're like, oh yeah, these are your Super Bowl team, or these are your, these are your Super Bowl teams. And it's sort of up to the rest of the league to close that gap. It happens right around this time every year. And it usually ends up playing out that way. Like we've identified the top 2 hitters in, one in each league, and there's a couple contenders, and we'll see how much they push them.
Kind of thought the Ravens would be in that group, but they just can't seem to close games.
I think the Chiefs are close, so it's an overreaction. But these are the top 2 teams in each league, and they will be the top 2 teams in each league throughout the remainder of the regular season. We talked about Philly's schedule, right?
Oh, yeah, super easy. I mean, they're going to stroll into Thanksgiving without a loss.
Steelers, Texans, Commanders, Colts, Packers, Titans, Giants, Bears, Cowboys, Saints, Giants.
They are the benefactors of a wildly easy schedule.
Are we talking undefeated with Philly, and how long? That would be the question. But it's an overreaction only because I do think the Chiefs are, they belong in that same category. But you saw it on Sunday. That's going to be an uphill battle. It was almost sort of how I felt about watching Nebraska play Purdue. It's like, I think they can win, but it was hard to get to that point for the Chiefs. The Bills are better. I mean, the Bills are quite a bit better at the moment, I think. So, that one's on the edge as well. We're being very wishy-washy with reaction overreaction today.
I'll give it an overreaction. I'll be definitive.
A hard overreaction.
Take 4. The Atlanta Falcons can win the NFC South.
Josh, not only can the Atlanta Falcons win the NFC South.
Oh, wow.
The Atlanta Falcons will win the NFC South.
Wow. What a prediction. Let's bookmark that.
Why not? Why the hell not?
Someone has to.
They should have beat the Rams. They should have beat the Saints. They should have beat the Buccaneers. I guess I don't know about should have, but they were down and almost came back and won that game too. They're a hell of a lot closer to be undefeated than you think they are right now.
Yeah. 2 of their 3 losses were by a total of 5 points.
Yeah.
What would that be? 6?
Why
10,
not us?
11 points, 3 losses by 11 points.
Why not us?
Schedule toughens up a little bit. Bengals, it's obviously not a divisional game, but Bengals, Chargers are in there. Bears, Commanders, Steelers.
Okay. And then you have to ask, and then you have to ask the question of who else do you think is going to do it?
I just expect Tom Brady to come around, but he's 45 and doesn't look like he wants to be there, as we just said. Yeah. When do those 2 teams mix it up? Oh, the last week of the season? Could that be for the division in the Mercedes-Benz not Superdome?
They're like, when people have counted them out and they were in Josh's bottom 5 as recently as what, last week or 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
But if you look at some of the advanced stuff, they're like a top half of the league team by a long, and they're, I don't know. I just don't. I certainly don't believe in the Panthers. The Saints, I don't think so either. And we just talked about the Bucks. By process of elimination, I kind of like the Falcons.
The one thing I'll say against that, the Bucks are currently 2-0 in the division. The Falcons are 0-2.
Yeah, that matters.
So they're in a hole right now, even though both teams are 3-3.
That matters.
Yeah,
for sure.
But it's certainly possible for sure.
Why not?
Take 5. The New York Giants are the second best team in the NFC.
So it's either them or the Vikings.
I don't trust Kirk Cousins because I'm a red-blooded American like the rest of you.
Well, okay. But do you trust Danny Dimes?
No, but I trust Saquon Barkley. But can he stay healthy?
I think the Vikings are a better team right now, but this is not just a great story. This is a pretty good team. I might even like them and Dallas are right in that range, right?
Yeah.
They're both really good defenses, questionable stuff going on offense. Dallas obviously has a ton more weapons on offense that they could sort of utilize. Also, by the way, did you see, and this is going to be a very, very popular waiver wire pickup this week. Wan'Dale Robinson catches first NFL touchdown on Sunday.
I did see that. I was very excited for him.
He will be. The Giants they have about 0 wide receivers on their roster, and they were waiting for Wan'Dale to come back, and they immediately utilized him. And that could be an actual thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have Saquon Barkley, who they just, occasionally and maybe even more than occasionally decide to just put at quarterback. Whatever you got to do to get the job done. It's a good defense. It's a good team. I don't think they're the second best team in the NFC, so overreaction. But they are in the hunt, and as we talked about them last week, we often bring them up because they've had this, really nice start, but nobody's really sure what to think about them. When you get off to a 5-1 start through 6 weeks, and your schedule looks the way that theirs does, this is a playoff team. And at the very least, this is a playoff team. They got 2 free Commanders games on there. That's nice. They got the Lions, they got the Texans, they got the Seahawks, they got the Jags. Oh, yes, those are their next 4 games.
Yeah, they have
Jags, Seahawks, Texans, Lions. The Giants might be 9-1.
They have a very Eagles-like schedule.
Yeah.
Because they're in the same division, they get to play similar teams.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good team. I'll leave it at that. But they're going to be in the playoffs too, so get prepared for Giants fever. Brian Dable playoff Giants fever.
Catch it. Last take here.
Talk about the other New York team here.
More likely playoff team: Jets, Dolphins, or Patriots.
I like how it's framed. Okay, so Buffalo's 5-1 in that division. The Jets are 4-2. The Dolphins are 3-3, and the Patriots are 3-3. Each of them have sort of like the Dolphins' arrow is pointing down a little bit, but they're going to get Tua back this week.
Yeah, they're going to get healthy, and then I think they'll be fine.
The Patriots have really good juju with the Zappy Hour right now.
Bailey Zappi. I mean,
they're feeling good about themselves, and the Jets are good. Like the Jets are doing some things. I mean,
they're talented everywhere but quarterback.
Yeah, Wilson's still a bit of a liability, but they got a really good defense, and Brees Hall's running that thing. I mean,
I think 2 of those teams are going to make the playoffs. Probably the Jets and the Dolphins. And
oh god,
Bailey Zappi has been kind of a revelation for New England. He might take Mac Jones's job.
Yeah, I don't know what you do with him. You trade him.
He's gonna Wally Pip this thing.
I'm not sure what they do with that.
Maybe a more current reference. He's going to Tom Brady this thing.
So okay, let's just play it out in the AFC real quick then. Let's just say your 4 division winners for the sake of this conversation are Buffalo, Baltimore, Tennessee, and Kansas City.
Love that Tennessee pick by you.
Why
Great,
not?
Smart guy.
Once again, process of elimination.
No, that's the best team.
Then you got to find 3 more out of basically Jets, Dolphins, Patriots, Bengals,
the Colts and Chargers are currently in the playoffs.
Chargers. Yeah.
Do we think the Colts or Chargers are going to be there in January?
That's a 6-group team, and you got to find 3 of them.
Yeah. I definitely think the Jets. Yeah, I don't have a lot of confidence in the Chargers or Colts right now. Maybe the Chargers get healthy later on in the year and kind of rattle some wins off. Maybe the Bengals do the same thing.
We talked about the AFC East being one of the better divisions of football a couple of weeks ago. I mean, it's possible. It's not just possible. It is. It's. You're starting to see the world where there are 3 AFC East teams in the playoffs.
The AFC West is not what we were told it was preseason.
No.
Not by a long shot. We were sold a false bill of goods.
The Broncos are quite bad.
The Raiders are last in the AFC right now.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with them because I actually sort of have some hope that they could get something going.
I mean, they're not the worst team in the AFC, but they have the worst record in the AFC right now because the Texans tied the Colts.
And then there's the Chargers, and we don't really know what to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a window of opportunity there for those teams. Give me the Dolphins for now, but they're working off of what they did in the first couple weeks still. with Tua coming back.
Winning some of those games the Dolphins weren't supposed to win the first 3 weeks of the year gave them cover while Tua was out.
Huge.
For sure.
Yeah.
Where'd it go? Dino comments in on Twitter.
Dino.
The Bucs literally have 0 opponents left that are above 500. It's one of the easiest remaining schedules there is. The schedule was tough to start because that's how TV frames these things. They want the first month to be tough for they want the Bucs playing all the marquee teams. I get that. Bad loss in Pitt, but pump the brakes. It's week 7. The Bucs are fine. Tom is fine.
Okay, I get the whole 500 thing, but you can't tell me that the Ravens and Rams aren't going to be tough opponents for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's in 2 of the next 3 weeks.
He attaches a graphic with some Tom Brady stats. He's first in touchdown to interception ratio, 3rd in passing yards, 7th in completion percentage, 1st in interception percentage, 7th in PFF passing, and the rest of the team, these are basically going to be O-line numbers, 28th in pass block win rate, 7th in pass drops, so his receivers suck. I think we all know that. They are dead last in yards per rush. They are 25th in yak yards. They are 16th in PFF receiving yards.
They can't run the ball, and
they can't run the ball. They don't have an O-line. And, I mean, the receiving core is...
This is not a we're going to be fine situation. That's all I'll say. It's possible that they can rebound. Turn things around.
Yeah.
But this is not a let's just pump the brakes, we're going to be fine situation.
Yeah, there's questions to be asked.
All right, thank you.
Aaron Donald can break through that O-line pretty easily, and the Rams are not good themselves.
Josh will get to exercise next on his bottom 5 NFL teams.
Oh, yeah.
Before we get to Tom Shatel, that's coming up on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
4th grade, we're learning all these things. I, in my infinite wisdom, decide to write a note to a girl. Finish your drink. I don't want you to spit this. Said me plus you equals nighttime fun. It's an 11-year-old. I got in trouble. I got sent to the counselor's office.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast presented by Bellevue Berry and Pumpkin Ranch from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly sunny skies will continue throughout the afternoon as temperatures only peak into the mid to lower 40s. In Omaha, I'm tracking a high temperature of 42 degrees. It will be breezy at times. It could feel like the mid to lower 30s throughout the afternoon. For tonight, clear skies, a cold start to your Wednesday. I'm tracking a morning low of 15. I'm meteorologist Anthony Copeland for KETV News Watch 7.
This is Darcy with Dingman's Collision Center. We have run our business for years by helping the vehicle owner retain the value of their vehicle by working for them with warranted, safe, high-standard repairs. For this reason, Omaha vehicle owners have chosen Dingman's to repair their vehicles. Your loyalty has been shown through repeat business and amazing referrals. You've also voted us first place Best of Omaha for the past 17 years. We want to say thank you for choosing the Dingman family and our incredible technicians to repair your vehicles. At Dingman's, we'd rather be the best than apologize for anything less.
Email any of our shows anytime into the Equitable Bank inbox. At Equitable, we take banking personally. For me, John at 1620thezone.com. The Equitable Bank inbox from 1620 The Zone.
Creighton Sports Update.
Creighton Soccer returns to Omaha for some midweek Big East action. Men's soccer hosts Butler on Wednesday at 6:30. With women's soccer hosting the DePaul Blue Demons on Thursday at 6:30. Tickets are still available online at gocreighton.com/tickets. And that's your Creighton Sports Update.
1620 The Zone proudly supports Creighton Athletics.
Everyone deserves to be connected. That's why Cox has high-speed internet to fit any budget. Stream, chat, and connect at an incredible price. You're probably thinking, wait, what? But yeah, it's true. Learn more at cox.com/ACP. Non-transferable, one per household. Application and eligibility decisions are made by the FCC. Other restrictions apply.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required. Refund available for 60 days after purchase.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online. Just go to 4hims.com/radio. You'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Results are guaranteed or your money back. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
This is Scott Schultz from Host Coffee. 2022 marks our 50th year and business has never been better. We continue to grow and add new customers. Many employers are looking for new ideas for their staff as people return to the office. Our pantry service is a great office amenity for staff and guests. Fresh food, snacks, coffee, water, and other beverages for employees and guests. Enhance your office experience with pantry service from Host Coffee. Learn more at hostcoffee.net.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, use my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed-rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online, and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR, but with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 5.73% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money with a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 5.73% APR to 19.99% APR and includes 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
Get ready for the scare of a lifetime because Madness Haunted House is back once again. Seek the thrills and horror at the new location at Pioneer Trail Orchard. Over 2 acres and 30 minutes of quality screams and fear. Madness Haunted House. The haunt that wouldn't die.
All right, got to knock this out. Tom Shatel of the World Herald is coming up here in just a couple minutes. We'll touch on everything going on. Nebraska football, the coaching search, maybe a little Creighton hoops as well, as they have Big East Media Day today, and they're picked at the top of the conference for the first time. But Josh, you are unveiling again your bottom 5 NFL teams.
God, come on. Take forever.
Number 5.
Welcome to the club, Arizona Cardinals. They've lost 2 in a row. They're last in their division. They're 0-3 at home. And they scored 9 points against Seattle on Sunday.
Yeah, rapidly deteriorating.
Hollywood Brown might be out for the year. Sure,
but they got Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, they traded for him yesterday. We'll get to him later. But also, and this will sound like a joke, and it isn't, a new Call of Duty game comes out in 10 days.
Kyler's gearing up.
TikTok, Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, you better win now because
Yeah.
it's going to be trouble.
They got a lot of weird celebrities in that Call of Duty commercial. I saw that over the weekend.
Yeah, they've gone really mainstream.
Yeah, I imagine the people that play the video game actually hate that.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That is correct.
Okay. I did glean that from the commercials. Okay. Whenever Pete Davidson shows up, you know the fun's over.
Don't need it.
Number 4.
The Denver Broncos. I've avoided it for a long time because their record had them kind of above water.
Time.
That's correct. But now they're 2 games under 500. They're clearly trash. We've all seen it.
Bad.
Russell Wilson cannot cook. His QBR is 35.
And he's hurt.
Sure. They've lost 4 games by a total of 8 points, so maybe they're the Nebraska of the NFL. But just watching them, they are awful, and there's no defense for that.
They have a really, really good defense.
They do. It's going to keep them in a lot of games, and that's why they drag other teams into their muckety-muck each and every week.
And they don't have a very good quarterback, and They can't figure it out at running back without Javonte Williams, and they got about a receiver and a half with Cortland Sutton and I don't know.
It's pretty easy to scheme against.
Yeah.
When we
It's
only got 1.5.
Not great.
Yeah. Bottom 5 NFL teams. Number 3.
3. Combination of 3 and 5.
Number 3.
Number 3 is the Chicago Bears.
Yes, finally.
Finally. 1 touchdown.
The Bears suck.
They scored 1 touchdown on Thursday night against Washington.
Yeah, this is like the miniature version of the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get as much crap because they didn't have as high of expectations, but these guys are on a whole bunch of primetime games, and we are forced to watch Justin Fields play quarterback. He is bad.
We have to watch them almost more than the Broncos because here locally we often get the Bears game. They're the only team in the NFC that has not scored 100 points. Fields has more picks than touchdowns, 5-4.
He's that's tough.
No quarterback who has started every game for their team this year has a worse ratio than Justin Fields.
And they lost to the football team, the football Commanders.
Yes. He's also been sacked the most of any quarterback in the league as well, 23. So now follow me on this logic. Maybe the Bears had O-line problems.
Interesting.
Maybe read between the lines on that one.
I still think they should be higher, but
you mean lower or higher? Or however we
worse.
do
it. Yeah, the Bears are bad though, and I'm glad you finally recognized it.
There was a way I could have manipulated it and put the Bears below this next team, but we know what we know.
Here comes
Number 2.
The Detroit Lions. They were number 2 last week. They had a bye week, so they stay here. They got the Cowboys, Dolphins, and Packers the next 3 weeks. So
what a quick fall.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. I mean, it depends on how they look against those 3 teams, but I mean, it's them and the Bears right now for that second spot.
Yeah. Now the only question is, do they wait? Do they take a quarterback and let Dan Campbell coach that quarterback, or do they pull the plug?
Yeah, I'll be interested.
Is it Bryce Young time?
What they do for the rest of the season in Detroit, because
they're probably going to have a top, 5 pick,
and
there's some quarterbacks up there.
Yeah,
you're going to have CJ Stroud. You're going to have Bryce Young. Will Levis is getting some love. Will Levis, the guy who eats bananas with the peels on him.
Is his finger okay? I saw his mangled finger 2 Saturdays ago.
I don't know. I think he got that thing fixed up, I guess.
Okay. Cut it off like Ronnie Lott?
Yeah.
Okay. That leads us to the worst team in the NFL. No surprise. We'll just rip the Band-Aid off here. It's the Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Make it so, number 1.
Number 1.
No appearance from the Houston Texans this week.
No.
Interesting.
It was time to dunk on the Bears, Broncos, and Cardinals.
Okay. I like it.
It was time. The Texans are trying their best, and they're just not very good. That's fine. PJ Walker threw for 60 yards on Sunday.
When you fire your coach 5 weeks into the season and your quarterback is injured and he wasn't very good to begin with, this pretty much cements you at the bottom. You are automatically the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if they came out of this position for even a week. But I mean, maybe they pop off a win that they weren't supposed to, and I reward them by moving them up the spot.
They still have one of the best players in the league who keeps putting up stats.
For now, that very rumored that he will not be in Carolina for much longer.
Yeah,
and I think that's a smart play for Christian McCaffrey and for the organization.
Get something out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And they kicked a guy off the team in the middle of a game.
That's pretty funny.
I actually respect the coach for doing it, but that's a major bad vibes red flag.
Yeah, for sure. They are cemented in the bottom. They have placed their hand in the wet cement of the worst team basketball court.
It is it's a race for the number 2 spot.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
That's the bottom 5 worst teams in the NFL. We'll come back with Tom Shatel next on 1620 The Zone.
1620 The Zone's 4-quarter pick'em returns. It's your chance to win $1,620. All you have to do is correctly pick 4 college or NFL games against the spread. Listen to Qualify every weekday or enter online at 1620thezone.com. One lucky listener will be selected each week to make their picks live on air.
Awesome.
Go to 1620thezone.com for complete rules and contest details. It's 4-quarter pick'em with 1620 The Zone.
Bill Jones.
And Olivia.
Here again for Jones Bros Cupcakes and Cafe. Jones Bros is famous here at Omaha for catering delicious breakfasts and lunches for business meetings.
If I own a business, I cater Jones Bros every day.
Sounds good to me, Olivia.
For breakfast, I cater French toast with warm syrup and croissant donuts. That'd be a good day at work.
Go with it, Olivia. Check out our website at jonesbroscupcakes.com for catering.
Jones Bros Cupcakes in Exarban Village.
Chest up, engage your core.
At Misty's gym, boot camp gets pretty close to the real thing. She wants to spot a personal trainer with a military background.
I can cover this week's boot camp, but we need someone stat. Isn't your cousin a Marine?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Rob tried to manage his constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating day after day. After realizing it was irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, he found another way and finally said yes to adding Linzess.
Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
Whether you're working in an office or remote, Staples has your tech. New AirPods so I can turn up the music and tune out distractions. Staples has your tech.
Oh, a spare monitor for my spare bedroom/home office.
A webcam for all my video chats.
Staples has you covered with tech solutions and accessories, from the latest laptops to networking solutions. And now Apple AirPods Pro are just $199. You save $50. The latest tech solutions are at Staples, the working and learning store, in-store and online. Ends 10/22, limit 2 while supplies last.
When it's hot, the last thing you want is your home's AC to quit on you. At 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, our team of comfort specialists take the frustration out of the equation. From simple repairs to more complex fixes, we'll get you cool and comfortable quickly. Call 402-788-1234 or visit McCarthy's1hour.com for $50 off any repair.
Always on time, or you don't pay time.
Terms and conditions may apply. Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Husker coverage on 1620 The Zone is presented by Tickets for Less. Tickets for Less is your local source for Nebraska football tickets. Compare and save today at ticketsforless.com. All the Nebraska football news, stories, experts, and coverage you need is on 1620 The Zone.
Great party.
Thanks. Can I get you something to drink?
I'd love a cocktail, but I don't want to trouble you.
No trouble at all. I have a Bartesian.
A Bartesian?
The Bartesian home cocktail maker. It's like a coffee maker for cocktails. It freshly mixes your favorite spirits with a cocktail capsule to create the perfect drink every time.
What's in the capsule?
All the premium juices, bitters, extracts, and mixers for the drink of your choice.
Wow. I'll have a margarita, please.
Coming right up. Your margarita.
This drink is perfection.
Get premium cocktails at the push of a button with the Bartesian cocktail maker. And with over 50 drinks to choose from, like Cosmos, Old Fashions, Martinis, and much more, everyone gets their favorite drink. And right now, buy a Bartesian and get your first 6 cocktails free when you go to Bartesian.com/drinks. Go to BARTESIAN.com/drinks for your free cocktails. That's Bartesian.com/drinks.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
All right, we'll talk to Shatel here in a little bit, but So to go back and readdress an earlier poll question momentarily.
Is there controversy? Is there scandal?
There's no scandal.
Oh, okay.
There's just some newfound information. We asked a poll question earlier. Would you marry an 81-year-old millionaire?
I said yes, because you don't have to stick it out that long, theoretically.
We were referencing Robert Kraft, who Dr. Dana has. Dr. Dana?
Yes, that is correct.
Dr. Dana is married. We got a tweet from Matt that sent us a YouTube video of a Martha Stewart thirst trap where she is in her kitchen wearing just an apron and talking, really slowly and not that loud. Martha Stewart is 81 years old. This information has completely torpedoed my day.
She does not look 81 by any stretch of the imagination.
I would have guessed 72.
Yeah.
Oh,
look
my
at that.
goodness. What is going on?
Are we on the air right now?
There's no way we're on the air right now.
But are we on the stream still?
Our entire building just lost power. There's no way we're on the stream either.
So this is fun.
I'm going to keep going in the event that we are on the air.
I think we're on the stream at least.
There's no way we're on the stream. Everything's off.
I don't know how electricity works. I do have a list of other celebrities who are 81 years old, though. Would you like to do this in the dark?
No. Well, yes, but hold on.
Let's address the elephant in the room first.
Let's go ahead and address this real quick.
Okay. Oh, here it comes. Power's going back up.
Things are coming back on.
YouTube listeners are telling us we are on the stream. We are on the YouTubes.
This is obviously going to take some time. We're on the YouTube? How?
I don't know. I told you I don't know how electricity works.
How is there's one computer that is, or two computers at least, that have remained on.
You left the stream? Your box is gone.
I don't have internet. I can't. Nothing's on. Nothing's working.
This is fun. This is gonna be a fun clip.
Do you hear the silence?
I do. It's eerily quiet. I did not realize how many machines were humming in the background of this office.
Just real quick. Shh. That's so quiet.
I don't like it.
That's so quiet. I can hear people outside clearly.
Did a bomb go off in the city?
Okay, so
I hope not.
We have no power at the moment. We have some power, but not to the things that we need it for.
People are telling us we are still on the radio.
Okay, that's what I was wondering about. I assumed that was the case.
Act like a professional, Connor.
The video. So we have like a marquee, like we have a video board outside. There's something that's beeping randomly. I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
But we have a video board outside. If you drive by us on 50th and Dodge, that is off.
Ooh. Okay, so this is a city thing.
So it is unclear how far this power outage spreads. If you are in the neighborhood of Dundee, please get in contact with us because I just want to know what's going on. I don't have internet on my computer, but I do, I can't read any. I guess I could read tweets on my phone.
Like a savage, like an animal. I mean, I still have internet on my computer.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
So we're on the air.
Yeah, we're on the air everywhere. Radio, stream, YouTube,
so I
Twitch.
cannot say the F word.
No, I would advise against that, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, what were we going to talk about? 81-year-olds?
Yeah, I have a list of 81-year-old celebrities.
Okay.
They include Pele, to keep this as a sports conversation.
Yep.
Bernie Sanders.
That one, I believe. I actually would have thought he would have been older than
that. The following musicians are 81 years old. Paul Anka, Bob Dylan, Neil Diamond, Paul Simon.
It's a good crew of 81-year-olds there.
Jesse Jackson, Dr. Fauci, Dionne Warwick.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Chubby Checker, Pete Rose.
Yeah.
Nick Nolte, Omaha's own. George Clinton, Parliament Funkadelic.
Nice. There's some of these I absolutely believe. And there's Nick, we're on the air.
Producer Nick. We're supposed to shut everything down. I'm not doing that.
Wait, so we have to go off the air.
No, I'm on the air. Oh, okay.
Oh, we can shut down Next Gen and stay on the air.
Someone do that for me. I don't know how to do that.
We're going to take a phone call now too.
Can we take a phone call? I told you I don't know how electricity works.
Does Nick want us to go off the air? He does not. He does not. Nick is saying that we should stay on the air. Yeah, as you may have noticed, we are experiencing some technical difficulties here at the NRG Media Omaha offices and studios. That has led to a lot of different things happening, including all the lights being off, all of the computers being off. So I don't believe that we have the ability to take a break at the moment either. So that is cool. But, we're just going to keep you updated on anything that may or may not be happening in or around the building. Josh, have you been able to gather any further information?
I have not. We had to restart one computer that allows us to take commercial breaks.
Yeah, so we have to keep going.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. We are not ready to.
Oddly, I am prepared for this moment.
Okay.
I have been in a situation like this before where you're just stuck on air and you just have to keep talking.
Just gotta jabber
You
mindlessly.
gotta battle through it.
Luckily, there's always stuff that we never get to.
Oh, I know. Yeah. So who needs? I mean, come on. Commercial breaks. What are we talking about here?
We love our advertisers.
Should I get to the thing that I teased earlier a whole bunch of times?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great way to go.
Should we spin the wheel
in the dark? I don't.
That needs a visual aid.
Does the wheel require electricity?
What if the wheel got skipped today because you can't? Well, I guess they can see you on camera. You're still on there.
Yeah, I'm well lit. My light still works.
Why does nothing work on my side?
I don't know.
It's always the producers.
Hardline? I don't know.
Definitely. Yeah.
I don't know. Again, I don't know how electricity works.
Why don't we spin the wheel?
Okay, I'll go get the wheel.
Just make sure we get it in there today. Like I said, thanks for sticking with us today. You guys aren't in the studio right now or in the building, but we are. It feels as if we are in sort of a closet at the moment. There's a lot of activity, electricity that's usually being used in the room, several computers. Instead, there's silence, no air is going on. There's just beeping every once in a while in the room. And outside of the room,
that's our battery backup, I guess. We're some technologically intelligent people have told us.
Outside of the room, there is chaos. People are running around. There's
a lot of "Are you on the air?" being shouted in the hallway.
There's flashlights going on.
It's not that dark. Like it's 1:00 in the afternoon. We don't need the cell phone lights on in the hallway. Okay.
Okay. We have some options here because Shatel just got back to me. Do we want to call Shatel? Do you think that's possible?
Yeah. Why not? You want me to call Shatel or you want to spin the wheel?
Let's talk to Tom.
Okay.
Let's talk to Tom.
I'll call him. Everyone can look at the wheel. We got Ed Orgeron on there. He's shirtless.
Ed Orgeron has joined the wheel today. And as was pointed out by Chris Scott in our building earlier on, he is the only coach on the wheel at the moment who has won a championship. He's also the only coach on the wheel that is shirtless. So that's cool as well. Okay, so somehow apparently we can get out and make phone calls. That's good to know. But we're working through some things as you're joining us here on a Tuesday on 1620 The Zone. Josh has apparently just dialed incorrect numbers to get to our guest today.
I used the wrong phone line. Tom has a special line that we call him from because his office phone is funny.
Well, got it. All right. So we'll get in touch with him here momentarily. He wrote about Mickey Joseph a little bit over the weekend and said, hey, don't count him out. Don't count him out. Also wrote about Nebraska special teams. We'll talk a little Creighton basketball with him as well as he joins the show here in just a couple seconds. But yeah, it's a weird day. We will get the issue fixed whenever it can be fixed. I don't know anything else to say other than that. All right. Once again, we're here on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. Apparently still, we'll get, as we now work in, our good friend Tom Shatel from the Omaha World Herald. Hey, Tom.
Hey, my apologies about missing you last week. but with Mickey moving the thing to Tuesday now, and I do this absolutely fabulous video that I have no idea if anybody makes sense of it or not, and and I think it was Great Media Day, which I missed.
Yeah, busy day.
And I saw an unbelievable scene of practice. So they're really good. This just in.
Yeah, I think so too. Pick to win the Big East. I mean, expectations aren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean it's no problem. We called you late today because we couldn't figure out which phone to call on. And by the way, I don't know where you are in Omaha right now. Wait, are you in Omaha?
Yes, sir.
Do you have power?
Yes, I'm at home and I have power.
Okay, good, because we don't, and I don't know what's happening. If it's like a Dundee thing, or if it's just here in our building, I can't tell. But we're currently operating in the dark.
Well, that's where I usually am. But anyway,
we have the good old fashioned terrestrial radio to keep us alive. All right, Tom. Let's. You wrote about Mickey Joseph and his sort of the chances of that happening. I would say this, and I think what they've done, what Mickey's done in particular over the last couple of games have been, really, really impressive. Just getting them back to, where closer to where they should be this year. But they're going to play 5 more games, and they're probably going to be underdogs in all of them. How significant would it be to get even 1 or 2 of those down the stretch for his sort of candidacy, or is it about that?
Well, yeah, I think it'd be big. It occurred to me that I might be a little excited about Mickey's performance because I'm comparing him to Frost.
Yep, nailed it.
Not a head coach in any form, and so maybe we're comparing this to something we haven't seen. And well, this looks really good, or this is better, and maybe it's just normal. And I think normal is good. We haven't had normal. I thought they were going to get wiped off the field last Saturday night. And so when they didn't, and they kept coming and coming, and it's like all they have is the deep pass, right? The deep ball. They're not really running it. They don't have much of an offensive line. It's the defense is playing hard, but they just can't stop anything. I think it's I still wonder, if it's just a matter of time before it just falls apart because they can't help it, no matter how hard they want to play. So I'm anxious to see the Illinois game. They get an extra week to rest, and I don't know. I think any of these wins, obviously Wisconsin and Iowa and Michigan would be more headline grabbing wins for him than I guess Illinois, and I guess Minnesota's up here too. But Illinois is leading; they're kind of one of the hot teams in the league. So you beat them, it's a headline grabber. I think any of the 5 would be good. But I just think at this point, the later it gets, and Trump really has to come out from behind the curtain after Thanksgiving weekend and say, here he is. And which means he'll be talking to agents and trying to get as we get closer to Thanksgiving, he's got to get closer to I think having a deal done. That works against Mickey, I believe.
Okay, I want to go back to something you said, and I've been harping on this. I think it's the biggest thing. We're comparing what's happening right now to Scott Frost. The thing that has become abundantly clear more than anything that's actually going on within the program right now over the last couple of weeks is, I mean, I don't know any other way to just say this frankly, how bad Scott Frost was, right? I mean, isn't that the biggest thing we've learned?
And yet they were close enough in some of those games.
I know.
If they had a clue, they could have won a few, but they're just, inside the engine, what's it made of? Well, not a lot of fundamentals. So eventually, you can win a few close games, but eventually it's going to be like this. So, but just getting them to play hard. You talk to ads and coaches. The hardest thing in trying to build a program is getting the players to buy in, And I mean, that's especially in this day and age where there's portals and all this stuff. What he's done there is very impressive. And I would think you'd have to make Trevor Alberts at least pause and go, okay, wins and losses are important, but what would this guy do with an offensive line and a defense? I think he has to at least have crossed his mind. So, yeah, I think so. And but Connor, that said, I believe he's going to go get an established head coach. I believe that. I've always believed that. I don't think Nebraska's a starter job. It's just it shouldn't be. It's time to go build, and so we'll see. But I do wonder: does Mickey stay? Does he want to stay? And is that a condition of the new coach? And
sure,
how important is that? Is it a deal breaker? Either way. So I want to hire a guy who wants Mickey, or the other guy says, I'm not coming because I got to have my own staff. So, but I just think Mickey would be very, very valuable.
I'm with you, and I do. I mean, don't you think he'll be here next year? Basically, no matter what.
He was given a 3-year contract, I believe, for that very thing. Even if Ross doesn't work out, we still want you here. Trev believes in him a lot. He loves him, and I think he's around, and he'd be a fantastic.
Does his business as in his hiring practices, and we don't know exactly how he's going about this one, although he laid it out for us pretty well when he fired Scott Frost a few weeks ago. But I don't know, and you mentioned being established. Don't you feel like there somebody else who's not one of the names that we're talking about right now that could emerge in the next couple weeks? And I don't know if it's a specific name, but I just get the sense, and it's also the way Trev goes about it in his quiet, it's been a quiet search so far. I think it'll continue to be a quiet search. I don't know. I feel like it's going to end up with a name that, people might like more than the names that are currently out there.
Oh, I mean, we could speculate all day. Just start picking names out of the hat. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's going to emerge in the next 2 weeks. I find it very interesting that it's been really quiet. I mean, back about a month ago, I said, you watch, there's going to be a bunch of stories popping up of guys getting new contract extensions and saying, I'm married to my job, and saying, all these things start happening whenever there's openings. And there's probably a couple other openings coming up. I keep waiting for Auburn. And that'll be one that attracts a certain kind of coach, namely SEC ties, because they're really, down in the South, they've got to have their SEC guy. You don't want any Northerners like Brian Harsin. So, but I just find that interesting that there has not been. It's been really quiet across the landscape.
Me too.
Very quiet. And when things are quiet, that's when things are happening.
That's sort of the sense I get too. And isn't that also how Trev sort of operates too, and how it's going to be with him? Like how important is that to the equation of it being quiet right now?
Oh, absolutely. They all want quiet. He's very good at it though. And it has been. But these things are tough. I mean, you could try to do a 3-month search. Stuff usually pops out, and it leads me to believe he hasn't made contact yet.
Yeah.
Usually, when there's contact, that's when agents start floating things, and insiders at the other school, and the head coach himself gets it out there so you get an extension. And I don't know. Maybe it'll be a thing that happens at the very end, or maybe he's had his guy all along.
Yeah.
He had a guy last summer. If this happens, what do you think? Yeah, sure. We'll talk, okay? And maybe that doesn't mean he's not going to look around. Sure, he is, but I just think it's been very quiet for a search like this. To not have anything, any rumors, anybody signing extensions, getting raises, pledging their love to their school, nothing. And so I'm fascinated by it. And as we get closer, to the Iowa game, I just think the last 2 weeks before the Iowa game are going to be amazing. I just think, if we don't hear anything, we're going to be just going nuts. Because that's when all that stuff starts happening.
Yeah.
And I bet you anything, by the time the Badger bus rolls into Lincoln, I bet they name Jim Weatherhead